that.
We'll do an abridged version.
Yeah.
We've got sound in here from Shark.
No, you got it figured out. It'll be fine.
It'll be good. How was your Thursday, man? How was the concert? How was the OAR concert last night?
It was good. Watched the Colorado and Minnesota games while I was there. Didn't stay there crazy long or crazy late, but went down there, got to see my guy Jerry DePizzo. Beforehand, they love it. It was awesome environment, awesome experience. Had a really good time with everything. Fun show. Took my son RJ with me. And he's like, what type of music is this? So I put it on beforehand.
Alternative.
Yeah, I'm like, you'll like this. This is like some classic.
Upbeat.
Yeah, it's got kind of a jazzy feel to it.
Yeah, there's a saxophone in it.
Look at the trumpet, saxophone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to it. So he really enjoyed it. We had a good time. I was watching, Colorado came back home, finished up the end of that thing, and watched the final, I guess, quarter or so from the house, and watched some of that Minnesota North Carolina game.
It was
as
a really
well.
good game.
It was a great game.
Really, really fun.
I mean, Shedeur Sanders is going to get broken.
Travis Hunter's awesome.
He's great. Shedor's really good.
Yeah.
I go, the best thing Deion can do for his son is just keep putting him out there with the subpar offensive line, because people will say,
a few times he just got smoked last night. This is the first game of the year.
He's tough. He's taking a lot of shots, and keeps going out there and keeps on fighting. He puts the ball in the money, he moves around. He does what he needs to do. So I give him a lot of credit. Travis Hunter, he's tremendous.
Yes, he is
out there. But North Dakota State is good, but they're not as good as they've been like 5 or 6 years ago.
When they won, 11 titles in 11 years or something crazy?
So they're good, but, if this is anything to come, like Nebraska, if they played like that against Nebraska would smoke them. I think Nebraska is a significantly better version of North Dakota State.
In Nebraska this year?
Yes.
I think it's at home for them, correct?
Yeah.
Couple weeks, maybe next week?
This week too.
Yeah.
So the next week they'll be going there. And believe me, Shedeur is phenomenal and does a good job. Travis Hunter, really stinking good. Phenomenal too. But, outside of that, they have issues on the defensive line and even more issues on the offensive line.
Like that North Dakota State quarterback, like every time the play broke down, 8 to 12 yards. Like
if you can't line up against an FBS school or an FCS school on 4th and 1 and get it, and they stuff you in the first half.
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did.
I'm like, okay, you're going on your own. What are they, phone 40?
The best line of the night. So Mare's doing some schoolwork, and since football was on, she likes to keep one eye on like the football games. So she was downstairs actually doing some schoolwork and like grading some tests. And so,
tests already?
Oh yeah, Bob.
What kind of teachers are like?
Yeah, she's a real teacher. She gave out homework.
Slave driver.
She gave out homework on the first day of school. This is high school math. No, I don't think so. And so she's
she didn't bring home a lot of apples, does she?
she's grading tests last night. And so, the first quarter of the game was just all offense. Like no defense really showed up. And she goes, "These two teams ever heard of defense?" And I kind of chuckled. She and then very next play was a touchdown. She goes, "Ugh, that's the Big Ten in me. There's too many points. I don't like high scoring games."
What's wrong with her?
It ended up like we had some big defensive stands like later on in the game. It wasn't that crazy high scoring. It was 31-26 ultimately in the end. But yeah, it was a pretty fun night last night watching all kinds of football. And then Minnesota good until the last drop, missing a 40-some yard field goal at the end. So Big Ten.
The 27-yarder earlier, that thing, they blasted off the upright. It came back about like a boomerang.
Yeah, not very good. Not very good. So they go down to North Carolina. Then NC State, I was watching a good amount of that game too because I had the triple box on, Bob. I had the three games going at one time and had my eyes on that NC State game, and that was pretty close against the Catamounts of Western Carolina. That was
it was 14-0 at half.
Well, they were down going into the fourth quarter. I'm like, boy, if they lose this game, the ACC is in like mega trouble.
Yeah, and I had to listen to E.J. Manuel tell me on XM prior to that how Colorado was significantly better than they were the year before.
They might be. It's game number 1.
I don't think they are.
But their offensive line doesn't look to be that much better.
And then he was at that game, I'm thinking, oh, gosh, he's got his hands full here with North Carolina State taking on the Catamounts.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a bumpy situation, buddy. And they're not exactly an FCS power either.
Oh, Western Carolina?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about North Dakota State.
No.
Like, yeah, Western Carolina, not.
North Dakota State has a history of being good.
Yes, they do.
Western Carolina, not as much. I have been to Western Carolina. It's in Cullowhee, Beam.
Okay. Sounds like a lovely place.
Played basketball there.
Sounds like a lovely place to spend some time. We got an awesome Football Friday lined up for you here this morning. Buckeyes pregame routine is changing rather dramatically. We'll get into that coming up here in our next segment as we listen to Ryan Day from his coach's show from yesterday. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He's going to join the program coming up here around 6:35. We will talk all the chalk for college football week number 1, what you need to know, point spreads and everything for fantastic week 1 of the college football slate coming up with him at 6:35. 7 o'clock hour, Bob, your ultimate college football viewing guide for this weekend. What are we going to be looking at here as we get into the week 1 schedule? 7:20 Buckeye over-unders. Going to get into that. We did team over-unders a little bit earlier in the week. Going to focus on player over-unders here on the offensive and defensive side of the football. At 7:20 and 8:20. Austin Ward's going to join us coming up here at 7:35. No AJ today. No AJ today.
He's up in Green Bay for Clay Matthews' induction into the Green Bay Packers Hall of Fame.
It's a great excuse not to come on the show. So big congrats to him. He's going to be traveling this morning. But we'll have a fantastic show lined up for you. Before we get into anything else today, it is Friday, the 30th day of August, 1 day away from Buckeye Game Day. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Bob. We got lined up for us today, buddy.
I'm going to have to juggle this thing around.
Well, that's why we went a little bit long
it's all right.
there.
It's all right. Listen, it's August 30th, the 243rd day of the year, 123 days remaining in this 2024. This date in 1836, the city of Houston is founded by Augustus Chapman Allen and John Kirby Allen. Guessing they're brothers, if I'm not mistaken on that one. Able to get that done. This is why I like to write it all down, Beam, and have it in a specific order, so I'm not jumping all around here. Oh, goodness. This date, 1930. I'm sorry, 1945, General Douglas MacArthur, the Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces, lands at Tsugi Air Force Base in Japan, as that is they're closing up World War II. This date, 1922, Babe Ruth is thrown out of a game in the 5th inning, or for the 5th time of the 1922 season. Got in a lot of fights, Beam.
I like it. I respect it.
Yeah, I figured you would. I mean, like to party, get after the refs, get after the umps a little bit. 1937, Joe Louis wins against Tommy Farr in 15 rounds to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
I'm going the distance.
Absolutely. 1963, some news here during the Soviet Union. This was big because Shark finally got to talk to his grandparents back home. The Moscow-Washington hotline between the leaders of the United States and Soviet Union goes into operation.
The red phone, right?
Yeah, the red phone. So you could call from the White House to the Kremlin. Shark, would your parents take you over there to talk to your grandparents
My ancestors come from Austria, Bob, not Russia, not the Soviet Union.
Austria, Shark, also part of the Soviet Union.
Is that why the...
No, Bob. They were not part of the Soviet Union.
That was just Hungary?
Yes, Hungary. Not Austria.
Okay.
Austria was
part of the
invaded
Third Reich.
Yeah, invaded by
let's not
Hitler.
say part of it. Invaded part of it.
Well, not anymore, but back then.
I mean, I think that's where
they didn't have a choice, Bob. They were invaded.
They built them the eagle's nest up there.
Stop it. Austria is a great country.
Of course they are. So you say. This day, 1967, Thurgood Marshall was confirmed as the first black Supreme Court justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. This date, 2012, Andy Roddick announces his retirement following his finishing of the U.S. Open.
For the first time in my career, I'm not sure what to say. Since I was a kid, I've been coming to this tournament, and I felt lucky just to sit where all of you are sitting today and to watch this game, and I've loved every minute of it, and it's been a road, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of great moments. I've appreciated your support along the way. I know I certainly haven't made it easy for you at times, but I love you guys with all my heart. One thing I'm not scared of about retirement is the people that I go home to. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
What year did you say that was?
That was 2012.
Wow.
Yeah, 12 years ago. Andy Roddick retired. Some famous birthdays today. One of the great baseball players of all time. 19-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 2-time Triple Crown, 6-time AL batting champion, 4-time AL home run leader, and 4-time RBI leader, Ted Williams.
Ball players are not born great. They're not born hitters or pitchers or managers, and luck isn't the key factor. No one has come up for a substitute for hard work. I've never met a great baseball player who didn't have to work harder at learning to play baseball than anything else he ever did. God let me play the game and to learn to be good at it. Baseball gives every American boy a chance to excel, not just to be as good as someone else, but to be better than someone else. And I know how lucky I was to have been born in America and had a chance to play the game I loved, the greatest game of them all, baseball.
Well said, Mr. Ted. Also born on this day, 1930, Warren Buffett turning 96 years young today, Beam. Guy's still at it, still living life, still working. So kudos to him.
Still worth a lot of money.
I believe they said Berkshire Hathaway's market cap hit $1 trillion.
Is that good?
Yeah. But you need to fish big, Beam. Tug McGraw, born on this date, 1944. He passed away in 2004. Longtime baseball player, father of Tim. They call him the Chief, Shark. Robert Parrish. I go, Shark, do you know who he is, Beam?
Robert Parrish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played a long time for the Celtics. 4-time NBA champ. He won his last one with the Chicago Bulls on the bench. And I go, Shark, how old do you think he is? Because this blew me away. He was, I don't know, in his 60s. 71.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Chief Robert Parrish turning 71 today. Some other birthdays. We've got Peggy Lipton, American actress and model who starred in the Mod Squad and Twin Peaks. Cameron Diaz, how about this? Turning 52 today as well.
Hey, hello.
Hey. Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
You're looking very beautiful.
Thank you. What is that? On your ear.
Ear?
No, your left ear. Is that a hair gel?
Yeah.
Great. I can use
No,
some.
don't. You don't have to. You don't.
I just ran out.
That is one of the great scenes in all of movie history.
That's more uncomfortable hearing it than watching it.
How'd you get the beans above the Frank, Shark? I need to rewatch that. I think my kids would probably love it, my older ones. That is a remarkable movie.
It's such an iconic scene.
Oh, yeah. I mean, is it Matt Dillon in that one, too?
Yes. Yeah, it is Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon is tremendous as well. I mean, his description of doing his charity work with some special needs folks. Oh, truly remarkable. And then also turning 42 today, retired on his birthday, Mr. Andy Roddick. Some passings today. Charles Bronson passed away in 2003. The Magnificent Seven star of that movie as well. Some holidays and observances today being, we've got Forgive Your Foe Day, Frankenstein Day, Cabernet Sauvignon Day. How about that? Why not? Get yourself a little cab. National Beach Day, National College Colors Day, which is the Friday before Labor Day, given the college football games will be fired up today, and Slinky Day. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, August 30th, the 243rd day of the year, and 123 days remaining in this 2024.
Good job, Bob. As always, Ohio State's pregame routine is changing rather dramatically this season. You'll hear from Ryan Day coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, no problems out on your central Ohio roadways. We are watching things pick up on 23 out in Delaware County. Also on I-71 as you make your way in from Polaris. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting Oak 365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free, and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Tire Discounters announces our latest breakthrough, TD Chat BS. This software allows us to detect untruths, deceptions, and even outright lies. Let's listen in as we call a local car dealer.
Hi, I drive your model of auto or truck. I need servicing.
Oh, that's great. You should always call the dealer for service to make sure your warranty stays intact.
Untruth.
Excuse me?
I can attend at Tire Discounters for all services,
No,
even
but-
for all manufacturers' scheduled maintenance. Warranty not affected.
But it's only us dealers who really know our own models.
Deception. Tire Discounters ASE technicians are certified experts for all makes and models.
Okay, maybe.
How many dollars do you charge me for? As few as Tire Discounters?
We are not that much more.
Outright lie. Ending call now. Bye.
No, but-
Adios. Aloha. Hasta la pasta.
Don't miss our Savor the Summer sale, now till Labor Day.
Ready for the big game?
The Fan Tailgate is back at the Ozone on Lane. Admission is free. Join us for food, fun, and music by the fabulous Johnson Brothers.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers.
Oh, yeah?
Hollywood Casino, Michelob Ultra, Jack Daniels, Pepsi, TNT Equipment, and Tito's Handmade Vodka.
It's game day at the Ozone on Lane. The Fan, Ohio's tailgating destination.
Our nation's veterans put everything on the line to defend our nation. They're heroes. And when they need help, Congressman Mike Carey fights for them because he cares about America's veterans.
My name is Thomas Rand, and I put my life on the line serving our nation in Vietnam. But when I needed help with an outstanding disability claim, the VA wasn't there for me. But Congressman Mike Carey had my back. Because of his hard work, my claim was approved, and I got the help I needed. I'm thankful for Congressman Carey. He cares about our veterans.
Mike Carey will always fight to help our nation's heroes. If you're a veteran who needs help navigating government services, programs, and grants, call Congressman Mike Carey's office at 614-927-6902 or visit carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the Office of Mike Carey.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and hot out there today, but as we go towards tonight, we cool off to around 70. Clouds and showers on your Saturday with a high of 84. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here in our next segment, about 6:35. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He's going to join the program. We'll talk you through your week number 1, college football, all the chalk that you need to know. So the Ohio State game day routine is changing this year, Bob, and be interested to get your thoughts about it. And we don't have sound from Ryan talking about this, but it is rather interesting because he said yesterday that they'll be staying in a hotel downtown on Friday nights before the game, which I think was the most interesting part. You obviously have good memories of the Blackwell and everything that would go on. And traditionally, team has always stayed there. You know, you have your meetings in the morning, Bob. You got like walkthrough right outside. I mean, I remember when I was in school, like the D line would just be doing walkthrough like right outside of the Blackwell at like a parking lot. And then, I mean, did you guys wore suits?
So there were times where they would let us wear sweats, but yeah, they're 90% of the time we were wearing suits.
Okay.
And I thought that was important. You know, Trust always made it sound like, hey, business trip, especially on the road, like we're traveling, you know, it's business. I kind of liked to, get dressed up. Once I finally got a suit, I guess it was probably my junior year. I went and I think, or maybe sophomore year, it was a big event for me going over to Men's Warehouse. And,
of course.
I mean, spending $400 on a suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of money.
It was the most expensive thing I've ever bought in my life.
Yeah, getting like tailored and all that stuff, getting a couple different shirts to wear with it. It's like, okay, that was a big deal in 2003, 2004, whenever the heck I got that done. But yeah, that conversations were had, in the spring, earlier in the year, obviously, because you got to set this up. The problem with the Blackwell is it's not really designed. Like, they have so many events over there for game day that when you have, like, night games or afternoon games, they're doing the walkthrough, like you said, in the grass across. Well, they put, like, a pavilion in there now.
Oh.
So, like, they did stuff across from Fisher.
Yeah. Or
I guess that's Gerlach Hall right there, the graduate business school. So they put some stuff in. There's really not, like, a good place to have meetings. I mean, they have to walk across the patio to go do that if it's raining, if it's cold. It can be a mess. And there's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it is, like, there's parents, there's other people standing around. I mean, there were guys I played with who their parents were upstairs and, like, family would come in town, like, they're upstairs drinking beers and, like, hey, come on up and say hi.
Yeah.
It's just...
I'm getting ready for a game.
It's
Mom.
not conducive to get folks ready to go play a football game.
Yeah.
So they're moving it downtown. They didn't say the hotel, did they?
No.
Of course they didn't.
Why would? Yeah.
No, I mean, I didn't want to say it because to draw attention to it. But it's got meeting space. They've got room, and they're far enough away that they're detached a little bit, and it's
right down the street.
It's right down the road.
They'll get a police escort. They'll be there in 5 minutes.
And that's the point. But it's far enough away that you're, like, not in the campus fray.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you would hear people walking around. I mean, like, at night, like the drunks, students walking around. I mean,
Buckeyes!
Yeah. I mean, there'd be people. There used to be, like, more bars over there across the street, and people would be, like, staggering around. You hear them, like, it was kind of entertaining.
I love a Friday night tailgate.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of entertaining, but at the same sense,
watching the human zoo outside.
Yeah, so you couldn't really, and now there's, like, no place for really a walkthrough out there, and if it's raining, then what do you do? So yeah, there's just a bunch that they've got to deal with that. So I understand why they're doing it. People make it like a big deal. I mean, the Blackwell's only been there for 20 years. It's not like they've been doing this. Woody Hayes did not stay at the Blackwell because it didn't exist.
Right.
Okay, Trust started doing that. I think my freshman or senior year was the first year they did it when it was completed. My visit, we stayed down, it's the Sheridan now. I forget what it was then. I don't think it was the Sheridan, but it was attached to City Center, and that's where we stayed for our official visits. Now all the OVs, they stay at the Blackwell, and I think they're going to continue staying there, and part of that because it's close to campus.
It's not going to do it on game night.
Yeah, for logistics. And they may even keep them down there for game night for the official visits, but just for the players, they're going to take them downtown a little bit, not far, just right down High Street.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that was some news yesterday. I thought that was a little bit interesting, changing up, just the pregame routine that has been very familiar with. So they'll still do the walk, Bob. I'd imagine they're going to get dropped off right there.
They'll meet there and walk over.
Yeah, for sure. So the walk will still be the same. Skull session will still be the same. And then the walk in from the Skull session to Ohio Stadium will still be the exact same. They're just staying at a different place on Friday nights. Ryan Day in his first radio show yesterday of the season, just talking about how the preparation, it's not done. Preparation it's not done until obviously the ball hits the foot. We've learned that through the years. But
is it ball hits the foot or foot hits the ball?
What did I say? Ball hits the foot, foot hits the ball. Want that one back. So Ryan Day just talking about how he believes that this team's ready to rock.
Preseason, had to be physical, had to be hard. I think it was. And now we get into the first game, and I think when you go into the first game, there's assumptions that you've made that will be right, and ones that you've made that are going to be wrong. But I think the thing for me that's the most exciting here is you're going to have an opportunity to see some guys that you just haven't seen play in a real game before on the team, and then some other guys who you have seen, but they look a lot different than they did last year. So, I think everybody's fired up to play on Saturday.
One more for Ryan Day. Season, it's going to go quick after Saturday.
When you say it, after Saturday we'll only have 11, regular season games, and they go very, very fast in the game of football. You just don't have a lot of those opportunities. So, we are going to respect every single opponent we play. But you've heard us say it before, it's about the standard that we set. And the standard for us is we want to be the hardest playing team in the country. We want to grade out over 80% across the board. And if we do that, we're going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, not all your prep work is done, Bob. You obviously have today, best Fridays in football. Then you got tomorrow and walkthrough and everything before 3:30 kickoff. But, the majority of, obviously, their off-season work is now done. It's time to go. It's time to go for the next 12 games.
They're going to have best Fridays in football today.
Yep.
Get everything ready, get a can of polish on, and get ready to hopefully start fast, and not like a lot of these other teams we watched staggering out of the gates the last couple of days.
Other than Missouri was up 21-0 in the first 5 minutes.
Pick sixes and stuff will do that for you, Beam.
Yeah, they sure were.
Just catch those boomerangs.
Lee Sterling at ParamountSports.com. He's going to join us. He will guide us through the betting lines of Week 1 of the college football slate with us. Coming up next, Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no problems out there that we're watching. We are seeing things pick up in a couple spots, including on 33 out in Plain City, also on 23 near Delaware County. I'm 10 TD's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Erectile dysfunction is a destroyer of your confidence, of your joy and intimacy, and often it can even harm your relationship. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, the leading men's sexual health practice in our area for treating erectile dysfunction, and I want you to know today that if you're like most men, you can be free of ED and all the impacts it has on your life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're your local provider for dealing with men's sexual health issues. Our expert medical teams are focused on treating ED, and we have highly effective treatment plans with some protocols that work in well over 90% of cases. We can even combine treatments for greater efficacy, all of which means it's very likely you'll be having great sex again within just a day or two of your first appointment. You might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations, just off 270 in Hilliard and near the Medical Mile in Westerville.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well,
Okay, I'll give you half now.
And?
No, and just half.
What? Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half. I could probably bump it up to like 50%.
Just go.
Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. And this summer with Zumbizi Bay, Central Ohio's largest water park. Take your last ride on Dolphin Dash before exciting new things come next season. Soak up the sunshine and dive into an unforgettable experience for the whole family. Zumbizi Bay offers non-stop fun for everyone. Enjoy $19.99 admission after 4 p.m. Get your tickets now and make your final splash at ZumbiziBay.com.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2 or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Get the right car at Reichert. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for my friends at Affinity Whole Health. Affinity is the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy, but they are also much more than that. They help men and women who are experiencing things like low energy, low libido, muscle loss, and weight gain. Turn it all around. You can feel amazing and live better just like I can. It can be delivered right to your door, which is tremendous. Semaglutide for weight loss and testosterone and hormone replacement therapy for so much more. I've been a customer for years and it works. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
A radio show hosted by two former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
All right. The Buckeyes open up the season Saturday against Akron. That's tomorrow. Get ready for kickoff right here on The Fan, 10 a.m. to noon. Got the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Got Matty Ice and Devere Posey on that one. Noon to 2 p.m., the Kurgis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show with Anthony Rothman, Andy Katzenmoyer, and Timmy May. 2 to 3:30, we get it over to the stadium. Ohio State Sports Network pregame show with Big Daddy Paul Keels and Jim Lachey. And then Timmy and I will be on like an hour after the game for network postgame. And then after that, we got game night with Chops and Reese, run until 11 o'clock in the evening. So we got you covered tomorrow with about 13 hours of coverage for your Buckeyes. You can listen on the radio, stream it on 971thefan.com, the Fan app, or even watch it on YouTube, all in your home for the Buckeyes right here on The Fan. As now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline, checking with our good friend for the first time in the 2024 college football season. He is Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com. Lee, thanks so much for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Good week 0 games. Also, awesome slate last night in week number 1 on Thursday football, just as a nice little palate appetizer for what's going to happen this weekend. Happy Friday, buddy.
Same to you guys. And, you know, I think more than ever, this could be maybe the greatest college football season. Why do I say that? My dad always told me, when you begin a season, why do you watch the games? Why do you follow your teams? Hope. And we have the college football playoffs. You could be sitting, if you're a fan of, well, my Miami Hurricanes or, let's say, Texas A&M or Notre Dame, you guys, I have a good feeling will be in the top 5, top 6.
We do too.
But, yeah, you could be sitting there at 15, 20, 25 with 2 to 3 weeks to go. You run the table. You're in the tournament. How great is that?
It's great. Hope springs eternal for all fans, and I feel like there's more opportunity now than ever, especially moving to an expanded playoff field. Let's get us started here, Lee. Saturday, big one in a non-conference game down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. This one is in Atlanta. You got the Bulldogs. You got the Tigers. It is Georgia and Clemson. Spread has stayed pretty even in this, like, all the way, I feel like, since the middle of the offseason. 13.5 in favor of the Georgia Bulldogs, the preseason favorite to win everything this year, Lee.
Well, actually, some money came in last night on Clemson. The line's down to 11.5 couple places. But here's the way I see it. You know, both of these teams return about the same amount of starters. The Bulldogs, 14. The Tigers, 13. But then you got to factor in NIL and these transfer kids. And Georgia, the two-time defending champion, said, you know what? Hey, if you're that good, you can add to our team. You have good character. You have talent. We'll take you. Trevor Etienne, running back, comes over from Florida. Tight end, Trevor Yaroshik from Stanford, and wide receiver Colby Young from Miami. So they really have 17 starters coming into the season. Dabo, not taking the transfers. He's not even taking live phone calls on his weekly radio shows. You talk about a guy being wound too tight. They're also 19-9 on neutral site games. And people forget about special teams a lot. They have the number 4 special teams units in the country overall. Clemson last year just 107, and I'm just not buying into Cade Klubnik. He just has not got it done. Even in middle to lower level games last year, they only scored 7 against Duke, 17 against Wake Forest, and 16 against South Carolina. Sometimes you got to lay it if you want to play it. Georgia, 30-13.
Oh, there we go. 30. I like that right there. All right, I want to look at a team that will be the foe next week of one of the teams that was playing last night. Colorado will be taking on Nebraska next week. Can't wait to watch that one and get your thoughts on that, Lee. But right now, I want to hear what their opener is looking like against UTEP.
So during the summer, I pop in film and I watch spring games. Most of the time, you don't see a whole lot. They don't show anything. But I popped it in, and all of a sudden, I watched number 15. And what happens? He looks like Patrick Mahomes, Dylan Raiola, the number 1 recruit. Walks like him, throws like him, handles himself just like Patrick Mahomes. This kid is going to live up to the hype. He's going to change the trajectory of this Nebraska program finally. They had 32 sacks last year. I think they're going to end up with 40 this year. They still have some weaknesses, but you talk about a weak team. UTEP, they fired their coach. They hire Scotty Walden. He might be good, but every decent player left. He's filling them in with kids that played at Austin P here. We're going to say this is going to be a blowout special. Nebraska 52-7.
All right. The Cornhuskers getting things done. Week number 1 as we check with Lee Sterling at ParamountSports.com. Head to the website. Got all kinds of good stuff over there. And he's with us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bob and I have agreed that I think this is not a sneaky game of the weekend, but a fantastic game coming up here. Great opener.
It was a sneaky game till Pat McAfee decided to go
yeah, then he decided, you know what, I'm going to go back home, go to Morgantown. It's Penn State. It is West Virginia. Last year, Lee, close game. Penn State added on a touchdown late to make it look a little bit different than what it was. They are laying 8.5 points down in West Virginia. How do you like that one?
How about this game? This game started at 13 about 2 months ago. It's down to 8.5 now. I mean, Penn State has dominated, little brother. They've won 49 of the 50 contests. Last year, they were a 20-point favorite. This year, just 8.5. Drew Lohr, I mean, he's not going to beat the big boys. He's not beating Ohio State. He's not going to beat the Oregon Ducks. But he threw for 325 last year and 3 touchdowns here. Every win except for one for Penn State was by more than 17 points. I think West Virginia's improved. They just don't match up with Penn State. As Lee Corso says, not so fast. Penn State, 31-20.
Ooh, I like that right there. All right. The defending national champs, Lee, taking on Fresno. 3 touchdown favorites.
I think Michigan's going to regress, but I still think they have some talent. I mean, they got a couple kids on defense that are going to get drafted in top 15, top 20. I think Alex Orji is probably the right guy to start the season. And in this matchup versus this level of competition, I think he's going to have some success. Fresno was -6 yards per game here in the Mountain West Conference. I mean, what are they going to be able to do? I mean, Mikey Keene is fine. He looks great against the average teams here, but Michigan still has too much talent, a really good tight end, a couple good running backs here. They're going to go down quite a few times this year, but it's not going to be opening week. Michigan pulls away late in the fourth quarter. Even with Texas on deck, Michigan 38-10.
All right, Lee, before we get you out of here, we have a big one here at Ohio Stadium, 3:30. It is the opener. Ohio State hasn't lost to an in-state opponent in like 103 or 102 years. It's been quite the long time since the Buckeyes have dropped one to an in-state foe. The Akron Zips travel down from Akron to Columbus. Point spreads stayed about the same, 49.5, 48.5, depending on where you look. Now, the interesting part is the over-under is like 58.5, so Zips not expected to score a whole lot. But Buckeyes, Zips tomorrow, 3:30 at the Horseshoe. Lee, I know that you just said Ohio State likes their chances of getting to the college football playoff. What you say about the Buckeyes in week one?
And they usually take care of MAC opponents. I mean, the last 5 years, in 2019, they won 76-5 over Miami of Ohio, 59-7 versus Akron, and also 77-21 versus Toledo. No look ahead, another MAC opponent, Western Michigan on deck. As good as Ohio State is, you need backups to extend leads in the third and the fourth quarter in these kind of games. And the Buckeyes have it at quarterback, running back, and receiver. And most teams don't have that kind of depth and that firepower. Akron only 9 starters returned from back-to-back 2-10 seasons. They just lack speed. Their special teams also, don't forget about that, 124th in the country. Joe Moorhead is hitting the transfer portal hard, but a new quarterback, new running back, new top 2 or 3 receivers. This team might improve, but it's going to be down the line here. Ohio State 63-7.
What do you make of Iowa this year, Lee? Because, I mean, we all know that their defense is pretty vaunted, but if they had any sort of an offense, it seems like they could be like a dark horse contender for the expanded college football playoff. How do you like them against Illinois State this weekend?
I think that they are going to be improved. I mean, their quarterback play was absolutely atrocious. I mean, it was like having a Division II quarterback. But Illinois State, they got a kid named Jake Rubley who was at Kansas State and also returned their top receiver. Even had another kid from Kansas State receiver transfer in, Xavier Lloyd, plus a punt returner. And also a really good running backs kid named Mason Blakemore. So I think that Iowa's going to win. I still don't think their offense is going to be great. Remember, their best 2 players from the team graduated, moved on to the NFL at punter and also defensive back. So I think they're going to be good. They just don't have the firepower. They don't have the depth. They'll be there. They'll be 3rd, 4th, 5th, but not 1st or 2nd.
Lee, always appreciate the time. What do we got going on the website right now?
Just go there right now. Check it out. A lot of free pick videos. I'll be heading up to the Miami and Florida game on Saturday morning.
Your guy, Billy Napier, Big Game Billy.
Yeah. We call him Sunbelt Billy down here. So if he loses this game, it's big for Mario Cristobal, but if Florida loses, I think Billy Napier doesn't make it to the middle of November. So they have the number 1 toughest schedule. Their over-under is 4.5. Yeah. So we've got a video there on that game. These are like 2-minute videos, LSU and USC. So all these videos are up and available. 29 out of 30 winning seasons, my 31st season. So anyone wants to hop on board, we rate our games from 10 to 50 units. First 40 to 50 unit play, I think in 7 years, where we've got a 40-unit major wager max release going week 1. You want to try us out? 8 to 10 plays from tonight all the way through Monday night, just $147. ParamountSports.com. And game of the week, how about this? You want to get, we'll give you a free game, Texas A&M and Notre Dame.
Oh.
First 5 callers, 800-400-9741.
Sounds good, buddy. Awesome. ParamountSports.com. Always appreciate it, Lee. Have an awesome week 1 of the college football season, and we'll check in with you here again next Friday, all right?
You too, guys. Take care.
There goes Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. The Brandon Aiyuk saga is over in San Francisco. We'll do that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, just one crash we're watching on I-270 heading southbound. This is right near Hamilton Road. Out in the Gahanna area, watch for crews in the right lane. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. Back to school time. Your kids probably have fancy friends. Isn't it about time you gave them a ride to be proud of? Actually, hell with the kids. Treat yourself to a new Lexus. Right now, it's the Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99% on ES, NX, and RX, as well as great lease payments. I've been a Jermaine customer for years, even before I started doing the commercials. If you're in the market, please stop in. Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
Hey, Buckeye fans, ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. For over 3 decades, Cordell & Cordell has been on the front lines of family law. Divorce is more than just a legal process. It's a life-changing event that can impact your future, finances, and your relationship with your children. You've worked hard to build a life that you're proud of, and you deserve a legal partner who will work just as hard to protect it.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Columbus area attorneys. 10 West Broad Street, Suite 1550, Columbus, Ohio, 43215. CordellCordell.com.
Common Man and T-Bone here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, do you know that there's games going on this weekend?
Oh, I know. And your game day headquarters is the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Massive TV walls, 12,000 square feet, and all the gaming action you could want.
Wager at one of 4 betting windows and 30-plus betting kiosks. Beat the crowd and reserve a table for all game days this fall at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Wow, private table. Must be nice. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Rothman and Ice.
He watched Mike Brown come out and say that the time to negotiate is in the offseason. He had to feel like my man Booker T.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Kemba Financial Credit Union pays you to save. Get a $300 bonus with a new money market account and earn a premium interest rate on your money. It adds up to big-time savings for your goals and dreams. Visit Kemba.org to check our rates and learn more. Restrictions apply. Bonus requires Advantage status and $10,000 minimum balance be deposited in the first 30 days and maintained to qualify for a $100 bonus at 90 days and $200 at 180 days after opening. Federally insured by NCUA. Offer ends September 30th.
Hey folks, Bobby Carpenter here. If you're ready to tackle any adventure, check out these unbeatable offers from Germain Toyota. Get behind the wheel of a rugged Toyota Tundra with 0% financing for 60 months. Yeah, that's right, 0%. Or if you're looking for something a bit more compact but just as awesome, lease the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma for just $329 a month for 36 months. These deals are rolling out so fast, so don't wait. Visit Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your best swing. If you get a single, double, triple, or home run, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet on us. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-91-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary depending on market. Expired 24 hours from issuance. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and sunny today, but I got great news. Today is the last day of the heat wave, and it cools off tomorrow. The trade-off, though, is that we'll see clouds and showers on your Saturday. That could impact the Buckeyes game. 84 for the high tomorrow. Partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
We here on The Juice are brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can, of course, visit them online at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky? Oh, it is our favorite day of the week. It's Football Friday. It's so good to see you guys for week number 1.
It's great to see you.
By the time the season ends, it'll be very cold. Today, it's very warm.
How do you know that?
I know, Bob.
We've had days in December that are like 45, 50 degrees.
My season's going to end January 20th, and it's going to be cold. But where we'll be as a football team...
At least it's going to be hot for you. Today,
95, yeah. I'll be poolside.
I'm going to be hanging out at the Greek Festival later.
Why don't you come to the pool with me?
I didn't know I was invited. I'm going to bring Willie over at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
listen, just remember,
invited.
Get Kelly to the Greek.
In a 21-season span from 2001 to 2021, the Detroit Lions had 17 losing seasons. They had an 0-16 season in there, 2-14 seasons, 4 3-win seasons. It was about the last place a star player wanted to play, but
I signed up to go there, Shark.
After going 3-13-1 in 2021, the Lions went 9-8 in 22, and then 12-5 last season. We call that winning, and so does Detroit Lions general manager Brad Holmes.
I'd say for the first 2 years, we had to do a lot of selling and convincing constantly just to try to get guys here, and that's this time of the year, whether it's the trade deadline, whether it's free agency, whether it's after the draft. But now, it makes you feel good that we've done something and we've accomplished some good things, that these agents want to send their players here.
Bobby, who would have ever thought that Detroit would become a destination for free agents?
Well, you want number one, you want great facilities and a great place to work. Like, everybody likes going into a place that has windows and is beautiful and spacious, great cafeteria, all the fine amenities that we have here at the Fan. Like, they have that up in Detroit in spades. I got there, I was pleasantly surprised. And one of my friends I play with in Dallas, who was at Detroit prior, he goes, I'll tell you, they got great food. He goes, they have a great facility. The forwards care about it. They want to win. Then you get a great coach, a guy who maybe was a player, who says, hey, we're going to grind, we're going to work hard, but I'm going to be fair, I'm going to be tough. I'm going to coach us into a winner. You'll be able to talk to me. We have former players on the staff. Guys can relate to you. And then you put the wins on with that, and a fan base that'll show up and be rabid and love you. It's a great Midwestern city.
They haven't won anything in forever.
It's just like Cleveland. And you know what? They're going to show up and they're going to be passionate for you. Like, all of a sudden you win and 12-5. You're in the NFC Championship. People are fired up. It's a great place to go. And honestly, they got all that started. Like, they've always put money in facilities. They've tried to hire coaches, front office. I give Chris Spielman a lot of credit. They went in there, their GM, they brought in the right front office, drafted well, and then select free agents. You get the right coach.
Well, they've also rewarded their guys too, Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, they've rewarded their guys who have exemplified what it means to be a
St.
Detroit.
Brown isn't walking around with a jersey over his shoulder to practice because they won't pay him. Like someplace down 77 or 75 that they have to deal with.
Exactly. So they've got that going for them. And, I mean, winning's the cure-all, isn't it? Winning culture. And so, I mean, we hear every year when we do these report cards about player amenities and ownership, like the Kansas City Chiefs rank dead last in just about everything. But look at what they win. That's why they're able to draw free agents, and they're able
Andy
to
Reid
draw.
said they have the best cheeseburgers around.
That's right. That too. But I mean,
who are the chefs?
Winning cures all, and it helps obviously to have a coach and management to do it, and all those other things that you mentioned. I mean, are cherries on top. But yeah, they're not going anywhere for a while. The Detroit Lions. I mean, they are here to stay because they have really built some strong roots, some strong foundations of that organization. So now they're reaping the benefits of it, and free agents actually deciding that they want to play in Detroit. If you'd have said that 6 years ago, nobody would have thought that you were telling the truth.
Michigan is known for its cherries.
That's right.
I don't know if they're on top or not.
It's true.
In his 4-season NFL career, Brandon Aiyuk has averaged 67 catches, 983 yards, 6 touchdowns per season. Very, very good numbers. Certainly not like Tyreek or Justin or even Cooper Kupp, but he is getting paid like the big boys Aiyuk. And the Niners yesterday agreed on a 4-year, $120 million extension through 2028, $76 million guaranteed. And Beamer, San Francisco becomes the first team with 8 players making an average of at least $15 million a year.
Yeah, and they still have to pay their quarterback as well. Brock Purdy's going to be up for a deal, and since he wasn't a first-round pick, what is this, Brock Purdy's third-year deal? Third year, I think, in the NFL,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And since he wasn't a first-round pick, he doesn't have that fifth-year option either. So that'll be something interesting to look forward to. I do find it fascinating when we had Albert Breer on yesterday, and he's kind of been talking about this, Bob, as this Brandon Aiyuk saga has gone on, that the Steelers' money was better than what the 49ers was, but he felt more comfortable with the 49ers operation. The Patriots.
They asked him, how many balls do you want to catch?
Yeah, the Patriots' money was way above the other two. Now, he said those were somewhere in the areas of like 27, 28. So this is a 4-year, $120 million deal. So San Francisco came up dramatically, and I believe all of that is to do with the CeeDee Lamb contract that just came out the other day. So I'm sure that Brandon Aiyuk may be sending a little bit of a gift to CeeDee Lamb and his agents for saying, thanks for getting me paid and keeping me in San Francisco.
Well, and listen to what we were just talking about with Detroit. People want to stay and play for a winner. They'll take a little bit less money, especially if they're in a good situation. They know the coaches. They know everybody else. They don't want to move. You have to convince guys to go places, and then sometimes you have to overpay them, and that was the problem with bad teams is it's tough on your salary cap because you have to pay guys 5 to 10% more to get them there, and then you don't have that 5 or 10% to pay with someone else. So when you win, it solves everything. I'm glad to see they finally get that done. Probably could have been done a month ago, but you got to miss camp before it too.
What's it like to be cut in the NFL? Bob, you're going to share your tale of that coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching a crash on I-270 southbound. This is in the Gahanna area, right near Hamilton Road. We've got the right lanes blocked off over there as crews work to clear that up. Other than that, the rest of your Central Ohio roadway is moving along with no issues. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union, BMI Federal Credit Union has 47 financial coaches to help you meet your financial needs and goals. Visit bmifcu.org/coach to get started today.
Men, if erectile dysfunction is affecting you, getting treated could have a dramatic impact on your relationship and your outlook on life. But it's also important where you get treated because your health matters. And working with an organization that practices excellent medicine and has significant expertise in men's sexual health can often result in a far better outcome. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're seeking a quality provider to treat your ED or are just not satisfied with your current situation, call us. We'll show you a true 5-star experience and work with you to find the right treatment for your specific medical situation. At Tri-State Men's Health, we truly are experts in men's sexual health. But it's more than that. Unlike the online pill pushers or so-called men's clinics that only offer one or a few treatment options, we offer the full spectrum of ED protocols. We can even use combinative therapies for better results. At Tri-State Men's Health, your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
We go to war for you. Would you bring a knife to a gunfight? This is attorney Robert Scherger. When the insurance companies call, give us a call at 877-WAR-FOR-YOU or go to warforyou.com for a free consultation.
warforyou.com. Meet animals from around the world as you explore the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Whether you're fascinated by the towering elephant or playful sea lions, we have it all at the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium. Visit columbuszoo.org to plan your visit today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark. All 18 Big Ten teams are in action this weekend. Second-ranked Ohio State hosts Akron at a 3:30 kickoff tomorrow here on The Fan. It's the 5th time this century the teams have met. OSU won the previous 4, outscoring the Zips 149-23. 3 conference teams were in action last night. Rutgers whipped Howard 44-7, and Illinois blanked Eastern Illinois 45-0. But Minnesota lost at home to North Carolina 19-17. In baseball, during their 3-game series at Cincinnati, the A's hit 11 homers, 5 by Lawrence Butler, who hit 3 of them last night. But the Reds scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th to pull out a 10-9 victory over Oakland. Tyler Stevenson had 3 hits, including his 18th homer, and T.J. Friedel's 2-run single was the walk-off winner. The Guardians had the night off. The Sports Center response by Awaken 180 weight loss. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Let's see. High school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Hour number 2 of the program for us. On a football Friday, Brandon Beam, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here in our next segment, did team over-unders for the Buckeyes a little bit earlier in the week. Going to focus on individual numbers. 7:35, Austin Ward. He's going to join the program. All kinds of good stuff coming up here from A Ward Sports as he joins us every single Friday. And now we get into a football Friday.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
A little dramatic victory for the Reds last night. A walk-off against the A's. 10-9 victors. At home against the Brewers. A little day-night doubleheader coming up for the Redlegs today. 12:40 and 6:40 starts down in Cincinnati. Guards entertaining the Pirates. Sharky, going into that one. We're at home for a weekend set. How are we feeling about that?
Feeling good, Beam. Kansas City goes down last night to Houston 6-3, so that lead in the AL Central is up to a game and a half heading into the weekend.
All right, sounds pretty good. You got the Buccos in town, so we got that to look forward to. Our fan high school football game of the week is going to head to Hilliard as Davidson hosts Canal Winchester. Coverage will start for us tonight at 6:30. We have the kickoff at 7, and after the game, it's the Byers Dublin Subaru Overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. High school football is back right here Friday nights on the Fan. Crew at home tomorrow night against New York City FC. It's a 7:30 start for that. Starters will be playing tomorrow at home. So it's a great result for them in the midweek, getting it done 1-0 in Westchester and PA, where they hadn't won in a decade. They hadn't won there since 2015. The last time the Crew got points in Philadelphia was in 2018. So that was and they did it with mostly backup. So it was a great performance for them, looking to continue all their success that they're having. Tomorrow for us, our game day coverage, let me go over this for you because it is rather
robust.
It's very robust, Bob. 10 a.m. to noon. We have the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. That is Matty Ice and DeVere Posey. Noon to 2, Tailgate Show. Kurgis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show with the Roth Dog, Andy Katzenmoyer, and Tim May.
Is Roth Dog back?
He was back yesterday. I was getting out of my silo.
Roth Dog resurrection?
Yeah. He was, I don't know what he was dealing with. Something pretty bad right before the season.
Well, I mean, Rothman does a lot of things that aren't advisable. You know, he's might even be a little more exotic than Shark.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe watch out for those guys if they're ever together on a Friday night.
He always talked about erotic delights men dare not dream of. I don't know what that means. I don't know what my dreams are to that degree. So dare not. I'm not sure where we're even going with that.
Something that happens in Westeros, Bob. I think he's a big fan of Game of Thrones. 2:00 to 3:30. You will have the Ohio State Sports Network pregame show with Big Daddy Paul Keels, Jim Lachey. Kickoff set tomorrow afternoon at the Horseshoe for 3:40. So 10 minutes after 3:30, we will get things kicked off between the Buckeyes and the Zips. An hour after the game ends, Timmy and I will be on the network postgame show doing a little breakdown. We'll talk to an assistant coach after the game as well. Then after we're done, around 9-ish probably tomorrow, you will have game night with Chops and Reese. So we have a ton of coverage for you tomorrow and all the way throughout the season, Bob. That is 13 hours straight Buckeye coverage for game number 1.
Get yourself a pack of cigs because you're going to need it.
You know what else you're going to need a pack of cigs for?
What, the re-rack?
What's a destination without the journey? It's the journey that really tells the whole story.
Right here, this is the beginning, the first step in a long journey.
And this is just the beginning. It's not about what you can do. It's about how hard you're willing to fight for it. The journey to greatness is paved with more than just talent. It's forged in the fires of relentless effort and unwavering commitment.
Hey, y'all boys. I mean, your brother, man. We got to keep challenging each other. We got to stick together when things get what? Things get hard, we got to stick together, man. You don't get better when it's easy, do you? Only get better when it's hard. One pace, one sound, we good. Don't let fatigue get the best of you. You got anything to hold your head on. For the rest of your life, it's effort. It's who you are or who you ain't. We feel confident in ourselves, in the God,
The road ahead won't be easy, but this is what we've been building toward. Our own journey, unlike any other.
That's pretty good when I saw that.
An unexpected journey.
It was very solid.
I love those Buckeye hype videos.
They do a good job.
A tradition unlike any other one is me watching those Thursdays and Meredith going, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rank that?
Really?
Yeah, yesterday. They usually always get a perfect 10.
They're always great.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Are they putting out like a series on Ohio State about some sort of like following the team?
I don't know.
I saw something about that yesterday, and I don't know what that was. I tried to find it. I don't know if it was just the hype videos that are coming out, and they tried to hype it up like that.
I haven't heard anything like that. I know that, is it Amazon that is following Notre Dame this year in like an in-season kind of Hard Knocks, like all or nothing kind of thing? I know that Amazon is doing that with Notre Dame, but I haven't heard anything about that from Ohio State's perspective.
Okay. Maybe it was just
I did see that all their student athletes will get free Chipotle. Did you see that yesterday?
What? That sounds
like
great.
all of the
For life?
From football down to name your other sport, all of the student athletes at Ohio State get a free Chipotle card. What a great NIL deal that is.
That is elite.
You guys would have bankrupted them.
Oh, we'd go there.
Double burritos, smuggle them into the movie theater.
So smuggle them into the Lennox, watch the movies on the weekend. Scheig sit right in the middle seat between AJ and I. No one else in the theater. That's right.
Yeah.
Like 4 people in the ginormous theater. AJ sits down.
You take the seat 2 away.
I go 2 past him, seat in the middle, thinking Scheig is either going to sit before him or after him. Nope. Plops down right in between us. 'Cause why wouldn't I want your sweaty arm on mine all 2 hour and a half long? And you trying to eat that burrito. Just listening
the
to
sound
you
of like
chomping.
Theo eating, probably.
Oh, for sure. And like Scheig moves around, so I'm like, just what, bro? Move, buddy. Look like weirdos. Number one, we're gonna come in here.
What are these 3 gigantic guys doing, smashing burritos, sitting right next to each other?
I don't want your shoulder touching mine for the next 2 hours. Okay, like I'm not on an airplane. Okay, this isn't by necessity.
This isn't just a confined space.
And by the way, if I was on an airplane, that airplane that the Delaware State team missed, the direct flight to Hawaii, I would have went and moved as well and sat, because I don't need to be touching another person shoulder to shoulder, arm to arm for 2 hours.
I mean, that's great. Hey, we know it was cut down day in the NFL, and you said yesterday, because you always send this to Shark, and just how this sounds.
Have you heard it yet?
I mean, we've done this for the last couple of years, but it's
so. I mean, everybody, it's
very terse.
It is very terse. I mean, football is a cruel, tough game, hard business to be a part of. And Bill Belichick, he goes on McAfee, and Bill does everything now. I think he's said yes to every media outlet that's ever asked him. I might ask him if he'll do a weekly hit with us,
sure.
Because he's just
come on down.
Said yes to everything.
Come on in, Coach.
And Pat asked him, I think if it was, what's the worst part? Is it cutting players the worst part of the job? I forget how the question went. He's like, absolutely. He's like, you hate it as a coach. He goes, guys work hard. They give you your everything. And, sometimes you're cutting good football players just due to roster constraints and cap constraints and how things look. And you've got to go in there and cut people. And so you watch Hard Knocks and they see it and, you see the phone calls.
I mean, it humanizes people when you actually get to see the human behind the helmet, right?
And I got traded from Dallas to St. Louis, like off season, right after the draft in my 5th season. I go there. I'm there with James and everything, and I had a really good camp. Thought things were going really well. One of the friends of mine who's a scout, did scouted stuff, and they couldn't believe it. He's like, dude, I thought you played great in camp, everything else. And so I'm sitting there. I've never been cut before. I hadn't been cut from anything since I was like in 4th grade. And so the first time that happens, it's rough. And I'll never forget sitting there in our place in St. Louis. We just moved in like a week or 2 before. And we'd had a bunch of guys over the day before. Thinking like, okay, these are the guys that are on the team. We had one. The thing is, they had cut down already to 53. And we had a practice on Saturday.
Oh, so you guys already
had cut to like 60.
Okay.
It was like practice squad guys that were trying to like push through waivers, but they were down. Like there's maybe one or two more cuts. But then you see guys coming on the waiver wire and like, hey, they may grab guys from different positions, guys they didn't think would be available. I'll never forget sitting there seeing my phone ring and a 314 number come through. And like my stomach just drops, pit in my stomach drops. I look at it and my wife's like, who's that? I'm like, I got cut. She's like, why? Why do you think that? I'm like, it's a 314 number. She's like, what does that mean? I'm like, we're in St. Louis. It's a 314 number I do not have in my phone. It's Sunday. It's cut day. And this is what I didn't answer. It went to voicemail. This was the message on the other side.
Bobby, this is Mike Williams of the Rams. Hey, we're going to need you to come over to the building here. The number is 314-516-9607. Give me a call when you get this message. Thanks.
When did you listen to that?
I didn't listen to it.
Okay.
I just went in.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And it didn't say bring your playbook on the other side of it, which is a lot of times what they would say. But I brought it in there. And I go in, like, when we call you, I say, what do you want to say? I'm like, he's going to tell me to come on in. He's going to tell me the same thing he said in the message.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there, and it was Billy Devaney was our GM, and Spagnuolo was our our head coach. And together you could probably stack them on top of each other, and they might be 7 feet tall. I mean, they were both short guys. And I remember when they were cutting me. You're
in their office?
I'm in the GM's office, like, hey, you know, you're going to hang around, you know, because I think they're like, well, you know, we had to bring in another guy. We had receivers hurt or something. You know, we bring guys back. A lot of them like, no, I'm going to drive out of here today.
After this meeting, actually.
Yeah, like I'm out of here. And I'm sitting there as they're looking. I look over and like the phone's on their desk, and I remember them talking and like not really hearing what they were saying after a while.
Did you go like a haze?
Because I had talked a lot to Billy Devaney. I mean, I thought that was the furthest thing from my mind. I thought I would be getting cut. I thought I was going to start.
Yeah.
And thinking the phone is about 6 to 7 feet away from them on the desk. I could probably kick the crap out of both of them and walk out of here before they get to that phone. I'm like, I could smoke Billy right across the face, knock him down. Spags is going to want nothing to do with it.
Were you Denzel Washington in The Equalizer?
Basically.
He sets his stopwatch?
Like, I probably could have, yes, 100%.
Time stops.
Like Liam Neeson him and just like, boom, boom, elbow to the other dude's face, slam his head into my knee, just walk on out of there, and then leave. And eventually, like, okay, we get. I'm like, all right, Sid, thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it. Shook their hands. Love to have you back. Whatever. Screw you. And I didn't say that. That's going through my mind.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. And people always ask me, like, well, what'd you say? Did you tell? Like, I'm like, you can't negotiate your way out of getting cut.
Yeah.
I go, it's like someone trying to break up with you. You trying to convince them that you should stay together isn't how it's going to work.
Honey, I got something to tell you.
Yeah.
Oasis broke up.
Exactly. But like, you're not going to be able to convince the other side of that. I'm like, so you just sit there and like,
just got to take it.
Yeah. Like, we can argue your points. Like, if you think they're wrong and this and that, like, it just, you sit there, you listen. Okay. And, you know, I remember I got cut from Bill. It is what it is. I'm like, 100%. I wanted to be like, what is it, Bill? What exactly is it? Please tell me. Enlighten me a little bit more. But, I mean, I walked out there, I go home, and I'm sitting there contemplating my future. Like, well, let's drive back to Columbus. Done some stuff. I'm talking to someone who had been here before on the radio. He's talked about me coming in and working and doing some stuff in the offseason. Well, maybe I'll come and get that started early. And within like an hour, I get called from Miami. And they're like, hey, we want to bring you in. We got a flight here for you in like 2 hours. I'm like, well, just had a kid. My wife's here. She's pregnant with another. And we've got like a 9-month-old. All right, sweetie, I'll see you in a little bit. I got to go to work and fly to Miami. And that was that. And that's what this weekend is like for a lot of guys.
That stinks.
Yeah, it is what it is, Bean.
Yeah. You're right.
Everybody in the NFL,
You're right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Whatever the hell that means.
Thanks a lot. We did Buckeye team over-unders the other day. We're going to do some individual offensive over-unders coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on State Route 104 right near the entrance ramps to I-71. Watch for that over in the downtown area. Also expect lane closures on 161 eastbound just beyond US 62 as you're heading near the New Albany area. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Swimming is a great way to exercise and spend time with family and friends. Always swim with a buddy, keep an eye on children, and be prepared in an emergency if there is no lifeguard on duty. The next time you go to the pool, be water smart and know where the safety equipment is located. Complete the Ohio Department of Health Safety Equipment Scavenger Hunt and learn more about pool safety at odh.ohio.gov/swim. Have a safe swim.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline. Now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer.
See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Wendy's new Saucy Nugs come in 7 saucy flavors. Yep, you can literally hear your taste buds going. Taste bud sounds may vary. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Sanctuary cities are releasing dangerous illegal immigrant criminals onto Ohio streets with Senator Sherrod Brown's support. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement reported 29 criminal aliens released in just a few weeks' time in Franklin County alone, including Edgar Moreno Soto, charged with felony firearms, drugs, released. Ajir Muhammad, failure to register as a sex offender, released. Manuel Vasquez Sanchez, domestic violence, assault, and menacing, released. And the list goes on. But Senator Sherrod Brown voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities in Ohio that release dangerous illegal immigrant criminals back onto our streets. Call Senator Sherrod Brown at 216-522-7272 and tell him to support S1068, the Stop Dangerous Sanctuary Cities Act, and start protecting Ohio families, not dangerous criminal illegals who shouldn't even be in the country. Paid for by One Nation, www.onenationamerica.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and hot out there today, but as we go towards tonight, we cool off to around 70. Clouds and showers on your Saturday with a high of 84. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Well, Football Friday edition of the program. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here, 7:35. Austin Ward, he's going to join the program. We'll break down the Buckeyes and the Zips with him. We are on the air tomorrow at 10 a.m. All of it will be broadcast on YouTube. Saw someone in the YouTube chat asking that. Yes, it will all be on YouTube. And you can also join us live on campus on Saturday. That's tomorrow. As the Buckeyes open up the season against Akron, we're going to be tailgating at the O-Zone on Lane beginning at 11:30 a.m. Admission is free. We got stage announcement with Timmy Hall and Boom Heron. Also got music from the fabulous Johnson Brothers. The Fan O-Zone is sponsored by your Central Ohio Ford dealers, Hollywood Casino, Mick Ultra, Jack Daniels, Pepsi, TNT Equipment, and Tito's Handmade Vodka. So we were doing this the other day, Bob. Team over-unders for Ohio State. And you can go read this on 11 Warriors. Josh putting these numbers together. And the team over-unders I thought were pretty good when we were talking about everything from, receiving yards for the Buckeyes, or I guess that would be throwing yards, passing yards for Ohio State, total rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, everything like that. Now, we actually broke it down into individual categories as well. So these are individual offensive over-unders here for the Buckeyes. Will Howard, he has set the number of over-under for passing yards at 32.94.5 for passing yards and 25.5 touchdown passes. I think
25.5 touchdown passes. What was the yards?
32.49, 32.50 basically.
And that's all season. Or
that
just
is
regular
the regular season. These are all. These are. This is 12 games.
I'm going to take over yards, under passes,
under touchdown passes.
Yeah, I think he'll throw for a lot, but I feel like they're going to run it a lot in the red zone this year. I'm
going to take the under on passing and the over on touchdown passes. I think I'm gonna flip flop you right there. I'm with you on the red zone. I think that there is going to be a lot of opportunities, Bob. I think this team is going to be better in the red zone, kind of asserting themselves with the ground game. I think that's going to be Ohio State's identity this year. I just think that Ohio State's playmakers on the outside, like there will be huge plays. There will be breaks in coverage and there will be strikes down the field. So I'm going to take the over on the passing yards and the under on touchdowns. As far as rushing yards go, and I think this is interesting, Bob. Josh from 11 Warriors has set the over-under rushing yards for Will Howard at 274.5, which I think is a really solid number. We expect Will Howard to run when he needs to, and also maybe some QB designed runs. Not expecting him to do it a ton, though. It's not going to look like when Braxton was back here and running all around and a lot of QB powers. I just don't think that's going to happen a lot. Now, I do think we will see it. But 274.5 for rushing yards out of Will Howard.
I'm going to take the over on that.
I would too.
That seems like it wouldn't surprise me if he has 50 yards in a game. He's got some
surprise me if he has a 70-yard touchdown
That's
run.
what I'm saying. Well, we've seen it before at Kansas State. So he's got some nice top-end speed. So if he gets out in the open, it wouldn't shock me if he has a 50, 60-yard rushing game one time where he rips off, a couple explosive gains or something.
5.5 is the rushing touchdowns. I'm going to take the over on that. I'll take the over on rushing touchdowns for Will Howard.
What was the number on that?
5.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over on that too.
So let's look at the running back, shall we?
Are you going to take the over on all the touchdowns, Beam?
I'm going to take, just as many touchdowns as we can get.
When we add them all up, it's going to end up being like
Ohio State's going to score 86 points a game.
Exactly.
Over under on punt returns and all kinds of good stuff too. Punt return touchdowns, kick return touchdowns. Haven't seen one of those.
Over under on 96 touchdowns. Beam's taking the over.
Quinshawn Judkins and Travion Henderson have identical numbers. According to Josh from 11 Warriors, 899.5 for rushing yards, 11.5 rushing touchdowns.
I'll take the over on rushing touchdowns for Quinshawn, the under for Trey. Over yards, Quinshawn. I just feel like they're going to get Trey the ball more in the pass game. Okay. Not more, but I think he'll get more reception touches than Quinshawn will. So I think more of his yards may come in that form than in the rushing. And so you give me rushing numbers and rushing totals. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to be inclined to take the under for Trey and the over for Q.
I'm with you on that. I agree with you on those numbers. Here's what Ryan Day said yesterday on his coach's show about his backfield between Travion and Quinshawn.
Both bring different things to the table, but both are very, very talented, and they've supported each other. They know they need each other. Peoples has done a nice job there as being the third piece, and we're going to need him as well. We know that. I feel like Carlos Laughlin has just brought a different energy to the entire offense, and you guys will get a chance to be around him and see him more. But he's built a really good bond with everybody in that room, but also just a workman-like attitude right there, and it's rubbing off on all of them. And so I'm excited to see Trey a year later after his great offseason that he's had. I'm excited to see Quinshawn run. Excited to see James run in a game. So it's good. You get it on film and get it coached up and improve the things that are going, that aren't going well, and enhance the things that are going well.
I think we see those guys in the backfield together at all this season. Trey and Quinshon.
Was there an over/under on that?
No.
Will you take juice from me? What kind of juice will you give me?
Just one time?
Yeah.
Oh, minus 1,000.
You'll take that? So if I bet you $1 million,
minus 20,000. No, now that you're big game hunt, you mentioned $1 million.
I would say.
What would that be in return?
98.
So $1 million would net you 100,000.
Yeah.
Right?
Are you prepared to pay that out?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
So you need to try to lengthen those odds. I would say 97.8%.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to give myself a little wiggle room there just because they don't have to do it. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw in the first 2 or 3 games.
All right, maybe a little T formation tomorrow, Bob, starting out. You got both of them in the backfield at the same time.
Well, I heard they're going to suit Archie back up in honor of his statue. Get him in there, Shark.
We got him into the spring game. Was it last year's spring game that we got him in? You ran that touchdown back in 2023?
It's a good thing David Perkins wasn't there playing on the defensive side.
Archie is live! Archie is live!
Man is 70 years old. Bam! Dead. Hit him with a helmet.
Austin Ward joins us on our first Football Friday of the season to break down the Buckeyes and the Zips next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching a crash on I-670 eastbound right at the 5th Avenue exit ramp. Also on 161 eastbound just beyond US 62. We've got some lane closures out there. And on State Route 104 near the entrance ramps to I-71. Watch for crews blocking due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
Common Man and T-Bone here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Bone, do you know that there's games going on this weekend?
Oh, I know. And your game day headquarters is the sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Massive TV walls, 12,000 square feet, and all the gaming action you could want.
Wager at one of 4 betting windows and 30-plus betting kiosks. Beat the crowd and reserve a table for all game days this fall at HollywoodColumbus.com.
Wow, private table. Must be nice. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33 or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. We're dealing.
With approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here for my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Common Man and T-Bone.
I mean, I've also thought about that where I see like an empty building and I'm like, a business could go there. You're looking at it and going,
a body
could go there. Yeah.
Common Man and T-Bone.
Sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekdays 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Obviously, this is a situation that we've been monitoring this morning and since late last night. There's no easy way to say this, and we just saw this from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And, you know, Bob, I know that there's just no easy way to talk about it. I'll read you what the Blue Jackets have said. The Columbus Blue Jackets are shocked and devastated by the unimaginable tragedy. Johnny Gaudreau has passed away. He was not only a great hockey player, but more significantly, a loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his wife, Meredith, his children, Noah and Johnny, his parents, their family, and friends on the sudden loss of Johnny and Matthew. Johnny played the game with great joy, which was felt by everyone that saw him on the ice. He brought a genuine love for hockey with him everywhere. He played from Boston College to the Calgary Flames, to Team USA, to the Blue Jackets. He thrilled fans in only a way Johnny Hockey could. The impact he had on our organization and sport was profound, but pales in comparison to the incredible impression he made on everyone who knew him. Johnny embraced our community when he arrived 2 years ago, and Columbus welcomed him with open arms. We will miss him terribly and do everything that we can to support his family and each other through this tragedy. At this time, we ask for prayers for the Gaudreau family and that their privacy be respected as they grieve. We've been monitoring that this morning, Bob, and there's just obviously hoped that that wasn't true when we got up today, but it is. Johnny Gaudreau passing away last night in the evening hours. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, a little reset, and then we'll come back next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. Right now, we are still watching a crash on I-670 eastbound. The exit ramp right at 5th Avenue has a crash over there. Keep that in mind if you're heading in that direction. Also, watch for crews blocking the entrance ramps to I-71 right at State Route 104 as they work to clear up a crash there as well. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com. Riker. We're dealing.
It's back to school time. That means it's time to start saving with deals for school days at Giant Eagle and Market District. Get tons of discounts on all your favorite items so your students can be ready to take on the day. Don't miss out. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Tailgating this weekend? Schmidt's Catering has you covered. Schmidt's will cater your neighborhood party or company tailgate and handle all the heavy lifting. They can even grill for you at your location. Schmidt's is the perfect way to celebrate this football season with their delicious Bahama Mamas, sausages, cream puffs, and more. Let Schmidt's bring their house to yours. Check out their full catering menu at schmidthouse.com. Why tailgate when you can Schmidtgate?
Mega Millions! The Ohio Lottery Mega Millions jackpot is up to $627 million. So I'm shouting it from my rooftop. Go play Mega Millions today. Then help me get down. And don't miss out on the excitement of Keno with 300 draws every day. Pick your numbers. Pick your wagers. Keno is always fun. Your way.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Do you feel that? The season is getting closer. Buckeye football comes your way tomorrow. Every game, every season. Proud to be your flagship home for Ohio State football. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. The people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Driving this summer in a new Honda. Act now during Honda's summer event to save thousands with low 1.9% financing. Full inventory is here. Cars, SUVs, trucks, vans, and hybrids. With hybrids, the battery charges as you drive. Don't miss Honda's summer event with big savings on gas or hybrid, like the 2024 Honda Ridgeline. Now with low 1.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer. See dealer for financing details. For well-qualified buyers. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and sunny today, but I got great news. Today is the last day of the heat wave, and it cools off tomorrow. The trade-off, though, is that we'll see clouds and showers on your Saturday. That could impact the Buckeyes game. 84 for the high tomorrow. Partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Ford.
Every game, every season, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Awful situation here this morning. Johnny Gaudreau passing away last night. We find out or hear anything else, just read you the Blue Jacket statements. we'll pass that along. Bob's a young guy, came here, chose Columbus as a city, 2 young kids, family, him and his brother passing away. There's no words.
Yeah.
There's no words for it.
It's very, very tough to deal with. And like you said, I look at his wife and his kids, young family, and that's devastating for them, obviously, to be a part of this and to see this happening. And, we were trying to search to find out this morning. And, I texted some people that I know, friends of his, and, when they didn't know, there's a situation where no news, I would say, is not good news, and because it would have been easy to dispel, and unfortunately, it was true. And there's going to be a long road ahead for them trying to figure this thing out of how his family's going to be able to deal with this, the loss of a father and a husband.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just it's really, really terrible news. And just saw a statement come down from the NHL and said National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman releasing the following statement on the passing of Johnny Gaudreau. The National Hockey League family is shocked and saddened by the tragic passing of Columbus Blue Jackets forward Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. While Johnny's infectious spirit for the game and show-stopping skills on the ice earned him the nickname Johnny Hockey, he was more than just a dazzling hockey player. Was a doting father, a beloved husband, son, brother, teammate who endeared himself to every person fortunate enough to have crossed his path. Gaudreau often told the story about how his father taught him to skate as a child in his home state of New Jersey, and he carried that same youthful passion throughout his 11 NHL seasons. Skilled playmaker, Gaudreau participated in the All-Star Game 7 times. He was always a fan favorite, particularly while showcasing his talents in the various skills competition for which he was so well-suited. He will be remembered fondly in Calgary, where he played his first 9 seasons with the Flames from 13 to 14 to 21-22, emerging as one of the league's young, brightest stars while compiling the franchise's 5th highest career points total. His loss will always be profoundly in Columbus, the city which he chose to settle his family, where he was one of the respected veteran leaders of a club building toward the playoffs. And both Johnny and Matthew will be mourned at Boston College, where they were teammates the year after Johnny won the Hobie Baker Award in 13 and 14. At Gloucester Catholic High School in New Jersey, where both played, and where Matthew was the head hockey coach following his own 5-year playing career. We send our heartfelt condolences to his wife Meredith, their children Noah and Johnny, his parents Sky and Jane, sisters Kristen and Katie, and we grieve alongside of his teammates, members of the Blue Jackets and Flames organizations, his many friends in hockey, and countless fans around the world whom he created indelible memories on and off the ice. There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say.
Yeah, these are you get real stories. I mean, we're here on the precipice of college football season, the NFL, and the excitement surrounding that, and all the things that you worry about in life. This is one of the things that you don't really think about and you don't plan for. And coming in today, this is probably the last thing on my consciousness that I was going to talk about, that I thought we would talk about. We had Akron previews and talk about games last night and everything else, but all of those pale in comparison, or a distant second, third, wherever it is, to obviously human life, families, and everything else. And forgetting about his impact on the ice. I look at I had a friend lose a father when he was younger growing up. I can't imagine his 2 boys growing up without their dad. His many friends who he had, losing someone who's very close to him, his wife losing her husband, parents having to bury a son. It's devastating on so many levels. And 31 years old, in the prime of his life. I know people were excited about him playing hockey. He was excited to live here. He chose Columbus out of probably just about anywhere. He made the call here to want to come here, to be a part of our city, our community, outside of just the hockey profession, wanting to live here. And it's just tough that him and his brother were tragically killed last night. I mean, there's no other words for it, Beam. And when you asked me about it this morning, I had not heard a thing about it last night. I went to bed as the Colorado game wrapped up. Yeah. And woke up this morning, started seeing a couple things come in, reached out, started making some phone call or texts. And when people don't know, that was never going to be a good thing. when you start talking about 7 o'clock when that stuff was rumored to have happened last night.
Yeah, and so we always talk about this. It's just hug your people, man. It's just there's no other words to say it, that everything that we do is precious. And I know that we say it all the time, but it's just a horrible, horrible story. And to your point, Bob, a guy that chose Columbus and obviously embraced him here in the city. And fans, we revered him for that, right? Revered him for that. And I can't even imagine what his wife is going through this morning. To your point, 2 children, his mom and dad, sisters as well. It's something that you can't even wrap your head around that has happened in that community, in this community, in Calgary, across the NHL, across the sports fans, and how that guy impacted lives, above and beyond what he was on the ice. The person, the family man, the dad, brother, son. It's just unfathomable to even think of what that tragedy is going on with that family. And so as we continue to learn, more and more about this situation, we're actually going to head out to the hotline and check in with Aaron Portzline of The Athletic. Aaron, thanks for the time. Obviously not a fun thing to talk about, but just, your thoughts on what transpired and the news that we learned about here early this Friday morning.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely devastating, right? Just devastating. I think first of the family, Dee and Jane Gaudreau, the parents, who are just incredibly tight with their kids. Their whole family is just completely bonded in the way that most families aspire to be. I just don't know how you go on. It's devastating for people who are fans of the Blue Jackets, fans of Johnny Gaudreau, anybody with a heart, obviously. But what that family will be going through today, tomorrow, for years to come. His wife, Meredith, he's got 2 young kids, both under 2 years old. It's just devastating on so many levels. His sister, apparently, this was to be her wedding day. I don't even think you think about the hockey player right now. To me, this is just a story of incredible loss on a human level, unconscionable, unfathomable, just absolutely devastating.
Oh my! So that's what they were back in New Jersey for. Porty was for their sister's wedding today. You said.
Well, he spends a lot of time in New Jersey. That's where he's from. Basically it's Philly, but it's just outside Philadelphia. That's where the accident occurred. There have been reports that that's where the Gaudreau parents live. I don't know that. I know it's a sort of a rural wooded area, a country road, if you will. But I don't know anything. I don't know anything further than that.
Hey, Porty, obviously it's a horrible situation, and we're thinking about Johnny's family, and you had mentioned it. His father, brother, son, husband, everything. And we're not even thinking about hockey at the minute. It's the last thing that is on our mind here. He spent a couple of years here in Columbus. You got to know him through that. Johnny Gaudreau, the man. I know that he was loved.
Yeah, such an easy guy to be around. Just remarkably chill. In a room, obviously there's the hockey players make a lot of money. Many of them dress accordingly. Not Johnny. Johnny on a game day, of course, a suit and all those things, but on an off day, he was Mr. Flip-Flops and old ratty T-shirt from the Jersey Shore. A guy you could know, just a chill, relaxed kind of guy where everything was water off the duck's back. And I don't pretend to have known him well. We certainly don't have those relationships, but every interaction I had with him was cordial, friendly, and typically you walked away from it, feeling a little bit better about the world you live in, because he was kind of an eternally happy dude.
He definitely seemed that way, Porty. I mean, like you said, you got to have your interactions with him. He wasn't somebody that, at least to my knowledge, I mean, I didn't hear a lot of sound bites from it. Didn't hear it seem like he was a guy who, craved the spotlight by any stretch.
Correct.
It seemed like someone a little more in the background and enjoyed Columbus for, I wouldn't say the obscurity that he was able to reside in, but just from your dealings with him, like personality-wise, he seemed like a fairly reserved guy who just wanted to play hockey and go about his business.
Yeah, he did. And this kind of bridges off the last comment. Is he didn't carry himself like a guy that just had a 115-point season in the NFL, right? I mean, that's like off the charts. He had one of the great seasons by a forward in recent years. Did not care to have that aura around him, did not treat people as though they were lucky to be in his presence. He didn't crave the microphone, to your point, that's for sure. But he was, always cordial and willing to do it, and just kind of spoke as he carried himself, just kind of low-key and chill.
And he was, as we check with Aaron Portzline here with us, revered in the room as well, Aaron, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt when you're Johnny freaking hockey, right? I mean, the NHL doesn't exactly often, I should say, transcend the entire sporting world, but Johnny Hockey, just that name alone, was one of the guys that was able to do it. So yeah, when Johnny Hockey arrives in the room, the young guys, they look at him. They looked at him probably in a way that made Gaudreau a little uncomfortable. Guys were just teammates here. Like we're on the same plane, the same team. Yeah, that's how they spoke of him too. It was absolute reverence.
How his obviously it's going to be devastating for the family. His departure out of the locker room, though, just from a personality standpoint, like you mentioned, there was that leadership, that reverence. I don't know how you replace something like that. I mean, just with his outside of his skill on the ice, but the personality that he was, because in a world where, like, hey, things can start to get to you, he seemed like a guy, like you said, Porter, he was always very cool, calm, and collected, and just always kind of the next step guy. I mean, it just trying to figure out how you would try to replace a personality like that, it seems almost overwhelming.
It does, and there's a ton of players coming into town right after Labor Day to get ready for camp. This is so close to the start of camp, the start of the season. It was only 3 summers ago that Matisse Kivlenieks, the goaltender, died in the unbelievable fireworks tragedy. And there was still, I think, for many, a sense of shock. That was in July. There was still a sense of shock when, the team arrived at camp. And Kivlenieks was a young player in and out of the lineup, certainly a bright future, but that there was still a sense that there's something missing from the room without him there. Gaudreau is such an integral part of this. I mean, top line left winger, huge minutes, expected to be the leading scorer, which he's been the last couple of years. But beyond the on-ice stuff, yeah, it's going to be. It's going to. I think just the shock will still be evident when they get to work. I mean, there's so many people now whose lives have changed.
Yeah, it's unfathomable.
More than anyone's, but there's so many people around him in his orbit that are just devastated today. You think first of them.
Absolutely, we do. Aaron, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Yeah, we'll check in again soon, okay?
Okay, thanks, guys.
Aaron Portzline of The Athletic with us. It's awful. It's devastating. There are no words for it. We're going to do something else next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching crews clear up a crash on State Route 104 right at the entrance ramp to I-71. Also on I-670 eastbound right at 5th Avenue. That exit ramp, we've got a crash that blocks a few lanes. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too.
Yeah? We have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Gear up for game day with GNC. Just like your favorite college team prepares for their matchup each week, you can get ready to crush your fitness goals with GNC. Your coaches are in stores, ready to help you build muscle like a linebacker or slim down after a tough season. They have everything you need, including all the top brands, the new flavors you crave, the hottest protein, pre-workouts, creatine, and more to tackle your fitness goals. Don't wait for the final whistle. Fuel your fitness at GNC. Visit your local GNC or GNC.com today.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. 3 Big Ten teams opened their football season last night. 2 of them won big, but Minnesota lost at home to North Carolina 19-17 when Gophers kicker Dragan Kesich missed a 47-yard field goal as time expired. Kesich also missed a 27-yarder earlier. Meanwhile, Rutgers crushed Howard 44-7, and Illinois whitewashed Eastern Illinois 45-0. 2 MAC schools were in action as well. Toledo drilled Duquesne 49-10, and Bowling Green dumped Fordham 41-17. Of course, the second-ranked Buckeyes open with a home game tomorrow against Akron. Kickoff is 3:30 here on The Fan. In baseball, the Reds blew a 1-run lead when the A's scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th, but Cincinnati came back with 3 in the bottom of the 9th to stun Oakland 10-9. The Guardians had the night off. The Sports Center is sponsored by Valley Ford of Columbus, Central Ohio's F-150 truck headquarters, an official dealership of wide receiver Carnell Tate.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, The Fan. If you make a wisecrack about Dayton Pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
It's a Friday for us. Be a football Friday, Bob, but seems to pale in comparison to the news that we got, that everybody in Columbus got, that I'm sure the Gaudreau family is obviously dealing with here this morning and into the evening last night, that he did pass away. Again, the Jackets putting out a statement a little bit earlier, and then the NHL following suit with that Johnny Gaudreau has passed away. Now, we don't know the details of anything just yet. I'm not going to get out there and talk about what might have happened, but his brother passing away with him, and it's just so unfathomable to talk about. Again, the Jackets putting out a statement here about a half an hour ago. The Columbus Blue Jackets are shocked and devastated by the unimaginable tragedy. Johnny was not only a great hockey player, but more significantly, a loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his wife, Meredith, his children, Noah and Johnny, his parents, their family, and friends on the sudden loss of Johnny and Matthew. Johnny played the game with great joy, which he was felt by everyone that saw him on the ice. He brought a genuine love for hockey with him everywhere that he played, from Boston College to the Calgary Flames, Team USA to the Blue Jackets. He thrilled fans not only in a way Johnny hockey could. The impact he had on our organization and our sport was profound, but pales in comparison to the indelible impression he made on everyone who knew him. Johnny embraced our community when he arrived 2 years ago, and Columbus welcomed him with open arms. We will miss him terribly and do everything that we can to support his family and each other through this tragedy. At this time, we ask for prayers for the Gaudreau family and that their privacy be respected as they grieve.
Yeah. Beam, it's the Friday before the start of football season. Had games last night. Games we thought we'd be talking about for tomorrow. The NFL cut down, and all these things are put on hold for stuff like this. And you really don't have any words for it.
No.
And like the Jackets said, you pray for their family.
I can't imagine what they are going through. I mean, us as fans.
Sister's getting married this weekend.
It's just
supposed to get married this weekend. I mean, she lost two of her brothers. I don't know if there's any more family members, but losing two of your siblings on your wedding weekend. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom what that would be like and how you would deal with that. And how you move forward with that.
Yeah.
That is gut-wrenching on a level that I don't even want to fathom.
You're absolutely right about that. It's awful. And now we're going to head out to the phone line, and we're going to check in with Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers. Mark, thanks so much for the time. Obviously, devastating news. Horrible. I don't even know any words to say here when you get news like this dropped on you and what's going on in the Gaudreau family household. But just... your thoughts on Johnny Gaudreau and obviously what transpired last evening.
Hi guys, there are no words when you see what happened overnight and then have it confirmed this morning. There really are no words. And it's just a grim reminder that we all have in life that, there's that cliche that, don't ever take anything for granted. Hug your loved ones because it can always end in a flash. And it's situations like this that just come up, that hit you so close to home, that make you realize just how true that is. And you guys, just hearing you talk, you guys made a really good point. How are they going to move on from this? There's obviously, they're going to have to, but how are they going to do it? It's such an unfathomable situation. You mentioned the sister's wedding. You mentioned just everything that's just going on in that situation. Not only Johnny, but also with his brother. It's shock. It's sadness. There's a lot of people, not only within the Blue Jackets and Blue Jackets fans, but in the hockey world, that are just legitimately crying right now. And the most painful part of it, I think, is the situation could have been completely avoided. And I really hope that at some point the conversation regarding drunk driving comes back to the forefront to understand that that's something.
Yeah, Mark, and
we can't have that.
Yeah, I'm reading the report, and I saw that Brian Hedger of the Dispatch has just put it on. So reports were killed while biking Thursday night in Oldman's Township, New Jersey. It's just I can't even imagine what that family has gone through, what they're going through right now, what they will continue to go through. But he did seem, as we had Aaron Portzline on just before you know, everything that you hear about, guy chose Columbus for a reason, was all about his business, wanted to play hockey, wanted to raise a family, was a family man, was a brother, you know, a dad, a son, and I just was revered really around the league. I mean, you've had interactions with him, and I feel like everybody around Johnny knew the kind of person that he was.
And we could sit here for an hour and talk about the man that Johnny Gaudreau was. And everything that you said was completely spot on. Every interaction with him, even when things were not going so great with the team, he always made himself available. He was always professional. He was always smiling. Heck, we even had some small talk, you know, kind of behind the scenes, even about his love for football and other things. You just see the smile that he had. And just when we talked about his hometown, you know, Salem, New Jersey, outside of Philadelphia, you know, family mattered to him. That's why he picked Columbus, because Columbus is known. A lot of people move there to be able to raise their family. And, you know, when that happened, that was a marquee moment for the Blue Jackets history, to have somebody of Johnny Gaudreau's stature choose them because of what they were able to offer him. And now to have this senseless tragedy, it's just, but yeah, to your point, he was just absolutely a treasure, and the Columbus Blue Jackets lost a shining treasure.
Yeah, what do you think the NHL, I mean, they have their statement out, Mark. I mean, the Jackets have issued their statement. I mean, obviously this is something that is going to have reverberations throughout the entire league. I mean, their process for handling this, you know, stuff like this has happened before, but it's very rare, especially, you know, we're on, you know, not quite the eve, but they'll be starting up training camp here very shortly. You know, what is the process for the NHL moving forward with this, about how, you know, what they'll do? I mean, honorary, you know, honorums or whatever it might be. I mean, what can you foresee happening?
Yeah, that's, Bobby, there's really not much of a playbook to this. I know the Matisse Kidwanick situation happened during the summer as well, and so they end up putting him into the rafters for that season, and there are various memorials. I know the Cleveland Monsters did something. So I think that that's certainly going to be a developing story to see what the Blue Jackets ultimately decide. I just think that it's so fresh and so raw right now that everybody's thoughts are just on the suddenness of it. I mean, you're just going through normal life, you know, just, you know, you go to bed thinking you're going to get up on a Friday morning, like you said, look up the football, and now here we are, and you know, we're remembering him. So we'll see what will come from this, but I know that within the people of the Blue Jackets, I know they'll find the right way to be able to honor his legacy, to honor his life. And that's something that over time we will find out what they're going to do in this case.
He is Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers with us here on the hotline. Mark, I mean, I know that Bob was talking about, you know, plans in place, you know, just as from a league aspect. What are the plans in place, protocol for, you know, grieving and help that the league distributes upon teams if things like these happen, and ultimately unfortunately happening, you know, to guys in the Jackets organization or even league-wide, plans in place for a grieving process?
Yeah, I know, behind the scenes they will usually make counselors available. There's usually, you know, they obviously have the NHLPA player assistance program to be able to help with certain things. I know that whether it be a hotline, a phone number, something like that, but there will be resources available for players, for just for them to be able to reach out and just try to, at this point, just talk through it. I think the league will step up in those efforts. There's been some other tragedies that have happened in the past, and that's kind of the common theme that I've heard, is that they will be given the opportunity to have the help and resources needed in order to try to make sense of this whole situation.
Mark, and people talk about legacies all the time, and, usually that's something we talk about in a sports perspective, about on field and on ice, on court, whatever it might be. But very rarely, when you have to eulogize someone, you talk about legacy. What would you define as a 31-year-old man who, had played in the NHL for 9-10 years, father, husband? I mean, the legacy of Johnny Hockey, of who he was to everybody that knew him.
Yeah, on ice, one of the greatest players in Team USA history. You go all the way back to his time at Boston College, and just how many vibes there were of him coming into the league, and then all his performances on the international stage as well. I think from a Team USA standpoint, I really hope that they remember him for the impact there. And then just the family man that he was. He shared pictures quite a bit, him and his wife, about when they had their first daughter and then they had another child, and you could just tell how happy they were and how much of a family man that he was. I mean, if there's anything that anybody wants to remember Johnny Gaudreau for, is just how much he loved his family, how much he wanted to be around his family, and for as many accolades as he had on the ice, for all the points and the goals that he scored. He was just as great, if not an even better human being, because he had the heart, and he showed it through his family. And I think that's what is going to strike a lot of people, because there's a family out there that's missing their husband, that's missing their father, and that should be his legacy, because he was established himself to be a father, and a really good father, and that's what I hope to remember him for.
Yeah, Mark, it's again unspeakable, unfathomable, unimaginable, the pain that their family is going through here this morning, and the fact that he chose Columbus, I think, was a great point of pride for our city, and
yes,
obviously revered by the fans here. And just going back to the day in which he signed for the Blue Jackets, it was like the Jackets had, won the Stanley Cup. Like, that doesn't happen to this organization. So obviously revered by fans here, revered by the community, revered by the locker room as well. I know he had the respect of the entire room, and this is going to be something for them that will not be easy just to get on with hockey with. There's just no way.
No, and with camp only being a couple of weeks away, so it's still going to be fresh in the minds of everybody within that organization, that somehow, some way, after they get through the shock, they're going to have to find a way to try to play a 2024-2025 season. How they come out of that, that remains to be seen. There could be, when you have that kind of heavy heart on you, it's especially when you consider how much Johnny Gaudreau meant to the Columbus Blue Jackets, how much he meant to that locker room, how much he meant to the league. You're right, it's a hard one, and you just hope that. Just hope that those that need the help and need the understanding get it, and you try to hopefully they turn into a 24-25 season where they honor his life and legacy on the ice by playing it. It's going to take a process to get there, but whatever they can do to honor him, he deserves all the honor and accolades that he's going to get. He was that important to not only Columbus, but to the sport of hockey. And if there's one thing I'm confident in this darkness, I feel like that they will find a way to properly honor him.
Mark, we appreciate the time. Obviously, a terrible, tragic situation. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning, and we'll check in again soon, okay?
All right, guys. Thank you.
Mark Scheig of the Hockey Writers. We're going to continue next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, we are watching a crash on I-70 eastbound just beyond Wilson Road. We've got the right shoulder slightly blocked off over there. Also on the north side of town, the right shoulder blocked off on I-270 westbound just beyond the 270-315 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Pella has forever been known for the best of windows, Wilson. But our doors, just as game-changing.
Yep, same with us.
We've got traditional and modern options, but also some really innovative stuff, like big, bold colors or tuck-away sliding doors.
But do you have the give it a little kick to open it door?
Does that mean what I think it means?
Yeah, you got to give it a good little kick to open it.
Get the windows and doors that Columbus homeowners rate the leading and most trusted. PellaColumbus.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here for my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
We don't talk politics on The Fan. It's divisive, fear-stoking, and negative. That's what our social media is for. Or your crazy uncle's house, or the grocery store, or you get my point. The Fan, Ohio's politics-free destination.
Cash, moolah, greenbacks, dough, Skrilla chips, bread and mo. 2, 5, 10, and 20, 30 big ones, games aplenty. Cheddar, butter, loot and scratch. Find the letters. Make a match, cause there's many words for cash, no doubt, many ways to play cash word. Check them out. Cash word from Ohio Lottery. It's game time, yo. Cash word, it's fun to go with millions in prizes, don't you know? Lottery players are subject to Ohio law and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
We're dealing at Reichert Ford.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Thousands of vehicles are waiting at ReichertFord.com.
Right
We're dealing.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Manny Chopra, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value and have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, and are bound by the highest ethical standards. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, please visit oda.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and hot out there today, but as we go towards tonight, we cool off to around 70. Clouds and showers on your Saturday with a high of 84. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Continuing here on a Friday morning. News of the morning here in Columbus through the NHL world. Our thoughts are with the Gaudreau family this morning, Bob, as we have learned that Johnny Gaudreau has passed away. Was reading this from Johnny Gaudreau, the statement in which the Blue Jackets have put out here that the Columbus Blue Jackets are shocked and devastated by this unimaginable tragedy. Johnny was not only a great hockey player, but more significantly, a loving husband, father, son, and friend. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his wife, Meredith, his children, Noah and Johnny, his parents, their family, and friends on the sudden loss of Johnny and Matthew. Johnny played the game with a great joy, which was felt everyone that saw him on the ice. He brought a genuine love for hockey with him everywhere. He played from Boston College to the Calgary Flames to Team USA to the Blue Jackets. He thrilled fans in a way only Johnny hockey could. The impact he had on our organization and our sport was so profound, but it pales in comparison to the indelible impression that he made on everyone who knew him. Johnny embraced our community when he arrived 2 years ago, and Columbus welcomed him with open arms. We will miss him terribly and do everything that we can to support his family and each other through this tragedy. At this time, we ask for prayers for the Gaudreau family, that their privacy be respected as they grieve. I did see a story that has come out. Police report came out. So New Jersey State Police have released details on the crash that killed the two brothers. Authorities say that the brothers were riding bicycles along County Route 551 north in New Jersey near the PA border when they were struck by a 43-year-old who was driving an SUV. After an investigation, Higgins was suspected by police of being under the influence of alcohol, and he was charged with 2 counts of death by auto and arrested, and the crash remains under investigation. I can't even begin to think what that road looks like for his family and his brother's family moving forward. It would be one of the greatest pains that you would ever suffer.
One of the worst things in life, being, and you having a child now, you'll understand this more than probably others. Like parents having to bury a child is.
I can't even imagine it, Bob. Can't fathom it.
Regardless of age, is incredibly tragic. And I look at this. I look at his friends, guys that he played with, his teammates who were waking up this morning as I was texting people trying to figure out what's going on, and they were in a panic because they weren't hearing anything, which led to concern with this. And I look at parents lost not one son but 2.
Yeah.
His sister lost 2 of her brothers on her wedding weekend. A wife lost her husband. 2 children lost their father. Friends lost. You lose a friend, teammate. The city lost a great ambassador. Someone it probably hits a little closer in Columbus. Columbus is a very proud city, I think. Proud sports city, and maybe hasn't had the success with the Jackets they'd like. And to have a guy of his stature as a player and quality human as well.
Picked us.
Chose us. And for reasons unrelated to the sport he played, but chose this city to reside in, to raise his family, and to live here, and to make this his home, because friends and teammates of his had told him how great it was to live here. And I anticipated him being a lifelong resident of the city of Columbus and retiring here, staying in the community, being a part of it, the fabric of it. And those were probably his plans. Those were probably his wife's plans, as they just had their second child. To wake up and to see this, and I was reading some stuff, just finding some more about him, and just talking about the guy he was. And so it said, just reading through his Wikipedia page, and they categorize it, the teams you play. And with the pending expiration of Gaudreau's contract, he was regarded as the top unrestricted free agent in 2020 by many, and whether the Flames would be able to re-sign him was a topic of considerable discussion. On July 12, 2022, the Flames announced that Gaudreau would not return to Calgary despite an aggressive internal campaign by the club to re-sign him, including a monetary package that would have made Gaudreau one of the highest-paid players in the league. General Manager Brad Treliving described Gaudreau's decision as disappointing to say the least, but noted Gaudreau's desire to move closer to family, saying that I respect fully, and John has every right. We have nothing but respect for John, the player and the person. On July 13th, 2022, the opening day of free agency, Gaudreau agreed to a 7-year, $68.25 million contract. The Columbus Blue Jackets, accepting less money offered by Calgary and comparable deals offered by the New Jersey Devils and New York Islanders to play for the club. His decision to sign with Columbus stunned the hockey world, both because it had not been among the most commonly mooted destinations before, and because Columbus had acquired a reputation as an undesirable destination for free agents. Blue Jackets general manager Jarmo Kekalainen expressed hope that signing can finally get rid of the BS that this is somehow a bad destination, a bad city, whatever, because it's never been true. Gaudreau went on to his first season, was difficult, riddled with injuries, not performance maybe that he wanted, didn't make the All-Star game. But the final line, and despite the disappointing season, he insisted, quote, I don't have any second thoughts. I love it here. And so it hits a little different for a guy who wasn't raised here to choose this place, to be a great family man, teammate, brother, husband, son. And for someone who's been a resident here of Central Ohio my whole life, growing up here, like understanding what that means, knowing what he meant to his family, knowing how tough it is going to be for his sister on a weekend where she was supposed to be wed, to lose both her siblings, or two brothers, and the type of people that they were. I can't even begin to think of what they're going through and how difficult a time this would be for them and what decisions she's going to have to make and how her wedding day, regardless of whenever that is, which is generally one of the best days of people's lives, will always be tied to this in her memory, and how there'll always be an air of sadness around it from this terrible tragedy. And I don't know how you ever could. I don't know how you go through with that on an annual basis of knowing that this is always going to be around something that should be celebrated with joy is now going to be marred with this tragedy.
You're absolutely right, Bob. It's just, it's heartbreaking. It's unfathomable. We're going to continue our show next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching a couple crashes. Crews are working to clear up. The right shoulder blocked off on I-70 eastbound just beyond Wilson Road. Watch for that as you're coming in on the west side. And on the north side of town, I-270 westbound, the right shoulder also blocked off in those westbound lanes right near the 270-315 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island. This season on Nada Yada Island. You were charging your phone? I waited hours for you.
That's how long it takes.
Join Metro and get a free Motorola Edge that'll charge for the day in 15 minutes. At Metro, there's no activation fees. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number ID and sign up for Metro Flex Plus plan. Offer not available if at T-Mobile or have been with Metro in the past 180 days. Requires 68-watt charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary.
While the world whizzes by, enjoy a moment of me time with Tim Hortons $6 breakfast bundle. Savor a small hot or iced coffee. Then add your choice of a mouth-watering hot breakfast sandwich and a crispy golden hash brown and your pick of a classic donut. All for $6. All just for you. Make your mornings all about me time with our $6 breakfast bundle. Available at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. Price and participation vary. Terms apply.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You seem pretty happy this morning. I invented a song. You know songwriters have an actual word for inventing a song. Everything we want people to know about Eco. Ready? Can't wait. Get Eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get Eco. They can really go. Get Eco. For your Cinco. Fix and a Blinko. You'll think-o. Hooray. Get Eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get Eco. You'll be cool like snow. Get Eco. Like an ice Rico. Puerto Rico. Get Eco today. What do you think? You know we don't serve Puerto Rico, right? I do know that. I mean, the drive alone from Ohio is like, geez. Way too far. But you ran out of rhymes for Eco? You gotta admit, the rest is pretty catchy. Oh, it's earworming already.
Get Eco.
E-C-O. As is that thing.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
At Kroger Pharmacy, CARE is making it easy to get vaccinated. CARE is helping you stay protected from flu, COVID, and RSV. Seasonal vaccines are available 7 days a week with evening hours. CARE is giving you a shot at staying healthy this season. Walk in whenever is best and get multiple vaccines in one visit at your local Kroger Pharmacy. So come and get the protection you need while protecting those around you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Visit Kroger.com/vaccines for more. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See site for details.
Hey, you've reached Teresa and Benny. You know the drill.
Hey, Teresa, it's Armando from Chase. Congrats on closing. I'm sure Benny will love playing fetch in your new backyard.
Your Chase Home Lending Advisor will be there from pre-approval to closing. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/home. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
Friday. Obviously, horrible news in our community in Columbus. Jackets putting out a statement about an hour ago. Columbus Blue Jackets are shocked and devastated by the unimaginable tragedy. Johnny was not only a great hockey player, but more significantly, a loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend. We extend our heartfelt sympathies to his wife, Meredith, his children, Noah and Johnny, his parents, their family, friends on the sudden loss of Johnny and Matthew. Johnny played the game with a great joy. It was felt by everyone that saw him on the ice. And he brought a genuine love for hockey with everyone that played with him, from Boston College to the Flames to Team USA, the Blue Jackets. And he thrilled a fan in only a way that Johnny hockey could. The impact had on our organization and our sport was profound, but pales in comparison to the indelible impression made on everyone who knew him. Johnny embraced our community when he arrived 2 years ago, and Columbus welcomed him with open arms. Bob, you were talking about that story of him choosing Columbus and was one of our own. That had never happened to us before, and we loved him. That we can continue to support his family and each other through this tragedy. And at this time, we ask for prayers for the Gaudreau family and that their privacy be respected. As we now check in with Anthony Rothman. AR, thanks for the time. Awful situation unfolding here in Columbus on this Friday morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys, my friends. I saw it last night. I was up watching football, probably up way too late, and I saw the rumor and the tweet, and it's just something, as you guys have been in this business, and you guys have been around, and Bob certainly has been around long enough to know that, there's a difference between internet rumors and then reporter rumors, right? And it's a very sick feeling going to bed last night and really tough going to sleep. And this isn't about me. It's not about you guys. It is about us. It's about our city. This kid was, we had him on during training camp. We went to the arena, Matty Ice and I, and sat with this kid who was always told he was too small to play hockey. And as you guys just mentioned, and as Bob so eloquently tweeted not long ago, this impacts so many people a lot closer to him than us. And you just feel for them. I do want to feel for the Blue Jackets family. This is now not long after 30 guys have to go to battle with tragedy again in camp. Camp, they have a preseason game on the 23rd of September. And so, yes, this has ripple effects into sports, but so much in my mind now is the life that was lost and the children and the parents and the dreams of a young man and his brother. And it's just a painful, horrible, tragic reminder how fragile things are. But we sat with him. He was the most polite, humble kid that you ever want to meet. Came from a great family, great hockey family. Everybody knew how marketable he was. He didn't invent Johnny hockey. That was born in college, and it stuck with him. He was John from South Jersey. That's who he was to a lot of people, and that's who he was when he went home. He was John from South Jersey, even though he grew up a Flyers fan and not far across the river there. So I was fortunate enough to meet him and talk with him, and I knew people that coached him and knew what the kind of a kid he was. And you think back to his life of his father teaching him how to skate, and you guys know how much your fathers and people have meant to you and how much you mean to your kids. And I just, I feel for their entire family. Yep, this one hits. It would hit for any player. I'm not ignoring the fact that he was a star. But my mind is rambling and trying to get my bearings straight on something that heard a rumor about 8 hours ago and now has become tragic reality.
And part of that, Rothman, you've been here a long time, came here in 94, and you've watched the growth of the Jackets and, the inability to maybe sign guys due to perception and maybe having to overpay some guys to get here. And for a guy who chose our city because he wanted to live here, wanted to play here, and did so at a financial cost, and could have maybe gotten more anywhere else. And I think, Anthony, that's what makes it that much harder is outside of him being a great hockey player and a phenomenal human, but he's one of the few, kind of the first guys who chose here because he wanted to live here. He wanted to raise his family, wanted to be part of the community because of his friends who had played here before and introduced him to this place and how great it was. That's what just, it stings. If it could hurt any more than it would otherwise, like that to me is what just elevates it even more.
I think it's really well put. I know it's tough for anyone to relate to a guy who makes that much taking less, but I think your point is really well taken because he had other opportunities. And it's hard for anyone to leave maybe financially a better opportunity on the table, but he did want what Columbus represented, which is a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to raise a family, everything the big city has and more. And it feels like that's who he was, and that's the dream that was dashed with this horrible accident. I remember when he told me he went to when he went to Calgary, he got a bonus. I think you get, a couple $100,000 for playing in the All-Star game. And I totally 100% believed him when he wasn't even aware of the bonus he got for making the All-Star game. He thought that was the honor. The honor was being amongst the best that you compete against. And wait a minute, we get paid more for that? And so it was one of those things that reminded you of what this kid was about. And it's a really good point that even when Jarmo got to the table and announced it, and remember how vehemently, how angry he got, which is, let's put that BS to bed now. Like, we got a guy that wanted to be here in Columbus, Ohio, and he turned down his hometown Devils, and the Flyers weren't ready to make that move, and I think the Islanders were going to pay him more, and they wanted to bring him back east, and he chose Columbus. And even though he had a great year and goes to the All-Star game, and even though we had a lot of injuries, and he was a team guy through and through. And maybe that was because of what I said earlier, being 5'9", $1.50, and having to prove that he belonged. And once he did, Bob, that confidence came. He was such a confident kid, and he never took anything for granted, even places like Calgary. I got to go make the team kind of thing. And I loved spending just a little time with him. And the cool part is Maddie and I got to spend time with him in his house at the arena, right after a practice. And I just couldn't be more impressed. He was, in essence, the perfect face for a team outside of the, superficial stuff. Good-looking kid, very marketable, but he was so humble and so polite. And he was, what a loss. He and his brother, I can't even fathom. No. It's one of those things that I'm not going to hockey in my mind at all. I know that people are thinking about Matisse Kivlenieks and what we went through with that. All the guys that were here during that time have to go back and deal with it again. Whether it's, I'm trying to think in my mind now, Zach, of course, Booney, of course, Elvis, my goodness, Tarasov, Cole was here, KJ was here, or on the roster. Just trying to go through my mind. Sean Corrali, who grew up here. You can't believe it. You can't believe it. It'd be like, I know they have a bigger roster than we do, but we're pretty tight at the fan. And imagine this happening to our family.
Yeah, it's unimaginable, AR. Yeah, it's unimaginable. And I think for us Blue Jackets fans, and to your point and to Bob's point, obviously jarring news, when you wake up to it. And I was the same way as you last night. I saw it before I went to bed and had a hard time sleeping. And, this morning, just there's nothing that could be said for it. And you're waiting for the worst outcome to come out. And it did. And your thoughts immediately go to his family. But I think for Blue Jackets fans, and to your guys' point, you finally had a guy that picked you. And that had never really been the situation for the city on a professional level, where you had one of the best players in the league pick you. And I think that's why he was so revered among Blue Jackets fans, is because you have always been, the runner-up. Guys wanting to leave. Like, he wanted to put down roots here, wanted to grow his family, wanted to be a resident here. And I think that we're such a tight-knit community that was really, it drove it home as one of a fan favorite here. And I think that there's no words to describe what our community is going through right now.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You got to draft him or you got to trade for him. And with him, you didn't. And, that first day of free agency, boom, there you are. And it's, I talked about on the show a lot, maybe were we ready for that at that point, but you certainly can't turn that down. We were in a very interesting position as Columbus Blue Jackets in this city to not turn that guy down and say you're not in that sweepstakes, even though sometimes, you're not ready because, like I said, a very skilled player, young player, how do you build around that? But you're exactly right. He chose us, and when you get a guy that skilled, as I mentioned, he learned this whole thing from his dad, and Dad would lay the Skittles down on the ice, and he would go foul and pick them up, and a legend was born. And I am just it's incredible, like you said, that this was our ambassador. This was the guy that said, no, Columbus, Ohio, you've been on the map, and I'm going to join you. And he was a very special young man. And beyond all that, too, because obviously we had a lot to offer him as well, because that's why he chose us. But he was, as you said, quickly becoming a fan favorite, despite the expectations when you make that amount of money and you have to deliver. Never really had the roster and the line mates and all that, and he was going to have it this year with Monahan. They were going to reignite that in the Calgary days and stuff we'll never know about now. And yeah, it's an incredible loss. This is eerie to Kivlenix. I do think that happened overnight as well, if my mind serves me correctly. And I don't think it was even picked up in the U.S., even though certainly the death happened here. I think it was a Latvian reporter, I think overnight in the 1 a.m. area, and the same eerie, horrible feeling from last night. But yes, the fandom's lost. Our hockey family is incredibly affected here in Columbus, Ohio, and I appreciate having me on to talk about it. I'm nobody special. I just happen to meet the guy, like the guy, and love the game, and really admire the organization. And now I have to watch this from afar a little bit, and hopefully they can deal with tragedy again. Preseason game, as I mentioned, camp I think is in 2 weeks, and it's they have to now somehow move past it again, and it's not. This isn't you want to speak in reality. This is a top line guy, and so that has obviously ripple effects down the roster. But Bobby has seen guys cut. He's seen them leave. He's seen them traded. He's seen them waived. He's seen other tragedies too. But as we all know, life has to move on, but this is too fast and too young and too tragic. And now the mourning has to happen. The grieving has to happen. We're all human, and those guys are so close to him. So they'll deal with it on a whole nother level that I can't relate to, even though I've certainly experienced death in my life like you guys, I'm sure, have, and people listening have. So that's where we are today.
As far as, Johnny, the hockey player, AR, let alone what his family is going through here, this morning, and Bob and I can't imagine, you can't imagine, fans out there, everyone who is listening can't imagine what that looks like today and then tomorrow and the next day and moving forward. I mean, revered in the locker room as well. I mean, a guy who chose the city, who came here, and incredibly thankful that he did. But the room dealing with this, 2 times in the last few years, it's unfathomable to me, AR, that they're dealing with this right now. But he was loved in that locker room.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact he was, an elite skill guy, like I said, he was a heck of a teammate, and that's going to be a big deal when you lose a veteran like that, and when a guy that's been around, and you were going to add a veteran to him. The locker room was going to get a little older there with Monahan coming in, and to be maybe the team's number one center for now, that would allow him to have that connection. I think the rest of the team would have seen that. They would have been able to take examples from those guys because they had played more than 5,000 minutes together over 7 years. So they would have seen that on display, hopefully, again. And so, yeah, and that you lose that part of that. And so I know these guys have dedicated their whole lives to be professionals, and they've sacrificed and they've given up things, and they've learned how to lose things for a bigger deal. And so I can only hope that somehow they can rally together as teammates, and that this brings them closer. Then maybe that's the silver lining. But I don't know any other way to put the way you have, which is to have to go through this again as a team right before camp. Is you don't know until you know. So we'll find out how they rally together and use each other to lean on. That's all you can do.
AR, we appreciate it. We'll check in again soon. All right, listen to you at noon.
Yeah, great to talk with you, fellas. Thanks.
There goes Rothman with us. Continue on next. Morning Juice here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and good morning. No crashes to tell you about, but we are watching things pick up on I-71 as you make your way into downtown and on 161 in New Albany. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct, too.
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct with unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam over here for my great friends over at Wendy's. And Wendy's new saucy nugs, well, they're here. That means the best nugs in the entire game are now even better. You can choose between Wendy's iconic crispy or spicy nugs covered in bold, flavorful sauces, including buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, and even spicy ghost pepper. Eat them with a fork, eat them with your hands, eat them for lunch, eat them after midnight. There's no wrong answer. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Mega Millions! The Ohio Lottery Mega Millions jackpot is up to $627 million. So I'm shouting it from my rooftop. Go play Mega Millions today. Then help me get down. And don't miss out on the excitement of Keno with 300 draws every day. Pick your numbers. Pick your wagers.
Keno is always fun. Your way.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
There's nothing like having Common Man and T-Bone resting on your bosom.
Oh, for someone with no breasts, you've done very well for yourself.
Gross. Pick up the latest T-shirt in the fan store or pick up merch from a show you actually like. We even have Ohio State and jacket stuff. Head to 971thefan.com.
Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit The Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havner Park in Liberty Township. Pay homage to those that have served in the Vietnam War. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public. To learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's Jen Winters. Join me Friday afternoon from 3 to 5 at the grand opening of Bob's Discount Furniture at Polaris. Games and prizes, plus the latest styles and way better prices at the brand new Bob's Discount Furniture at Polaris this Friday.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
96 and sunny today, but I got great news. Today is the last day of the heat wave, and it cools off tomorrow. The trade-off, though, is that we'll see clouds and showers on your Saturday. That could impact the Buckeyes game. 84 for the high tomorrow. Partly cloudy on Sunday with a high of 88. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
We got to hear in just a second as Uncle Bo and the boys will hand off the microphones to them. Unimaginable situation, unfathomable, unspeakable. Our thoughts and our prayers are with the Gaudreau family this morning, Bob, as they are going to have to find a road back here, in which is something that I can't imagine, you can't imagine. It's the worst imaginable thing that you could possibly conjure up.
And, we revere professional athletes, and they're, heroes to many. Especially when you're young, but underneath the jersey, the helmets, the pads, whatever it is, they're human beings. If you cut them, they bleed. They're mortal, and tragedies can happen to them too, and to their families. And so, the prayers to their Gaudreau, their parents, their sister, Johnny's wife, their kids, his teammates, his friends. Because there's going to be a lot of people going through it for quite some time. And on the weekend of his sister's pending nuptials, I'm not sure what the pathway looks like for that, but it's going to be a long one. It's going to be tough.
Absolutely, it is. That ends it for us. Bo and the boys are up next. We will talk to you later. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and happy Friday. No crashes to tell you about right now. We are watching busy traffic out in New Albany on 161, also on I-71 as you come into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steckerwald with your Fan traffic.
is a fan action update.
The Cleveland Guardians are a game and a half ahead of the Royals in the AL Central, 3.5 over the Twins. Guards are minus 150 to win the division. KC is 2-1, and Minnesota is plus 430. Cleveland opens up a big series with the Pirates today as a minus 164 favorite on the money line. Twins have the Blue Jays this weekend, and the Royals are in Houston. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
And what is it called?
A ceiling fan.
And where is it?
It's on the floor.
And why is that a problem?
Well, see, the person who named it probably should have called it a floor. No, that's not right. The guy on TV I saw put up a ceiling fan.
Are you a TV star, Paul?
No, I'm not.
Are you an electrician, Paul?
I am not.
You are?
I am a middle management accountant, and I shouldn't be putting up ceiling fans.
You should.
Call the pros who knows.
Apex Pros.
The pros who know electrical work, too. Hi, it's Alex from Apex Pros. And if you'd like us for plumbing, cooling, and heating, you're going to love our pro electricians.
Apex Pros are on the way.
Much easier, isn't it?
I'm glad we sorted this out.
Me too.
Columbus loves the pros who knows. Schedule with one click at apexpros.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com